Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Catan Stadium in this varsity football game between the Brush Arcs and the home Strongsville Mustangs. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Smith, and along with me is my partner and good friend, Jay Muty. Both of these teams, Jay, are coming in 0-2, but it's not indicative of the play. What should we look for from the Mustangs tonight?
Well, Bill, the Mustangs have had trouble getting the ball in the end zone this year. They've only scored 3 times offensively, but they're a young team. They're very talented. They just haven't gelled yet. They're led by sophomore quarterback Johnny Majors. He's going to try to get things going this week.
The Brush Arcs, they are under the direction of head coach Jim Fink. It's his second year as head coach, so he's just starting to get things together. The big number 2 that's going to carry the team tonight is probably Christian Wright. He had 139 yards rushing in the first opener for Brush. Again, one of these teams is going to break into the win column tonight. We're going to head upstairs, and we'll be right back with the opening kickoff. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catan Stadium. Once again, I'm Bill Smith. Along with me, my good friend and partner, Jay Muty. Jay, beautiful field down there. We were commenting on it before. Outstanding AstroTurf.
Yes, sir. It's now called Serpentini Field at Catan Stadium. The Strongsville, city of Strongsville, put together an issue that, well, it wasn't a bond issue. It was a
no, don't get people
booster.
mad.
Yeah. It was a booster project that got a brand new field for us, and it just looks beautiful. I mean, these kids are so blessed to be able to play here, and just to come in here and watch a game. We've always said that it's been great to watch games here, and this just makes it, so much better.
It's a lot softer down there. Last time I was on an artificial turf, I was playing down at the Horseshoe down in Columbus. This is a lot different because that was about 40-some years ago. Okay, ready to kick off for the Brush Arcs, number 99, Bradley Heiss. And the Mustangs ready to receive. This is a short kick. It's going to bounce on the 11. Picked up on the 3-yard line.
By Joe Gillette.
And Gillette, a couple of nice side moves there and gets out across the 20 to about the 25-yard line. And that's where the Strongsville Mustangs will take over on offense.
Yeah, Bill, Joe Gillette in game 1 against Avon had a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, so he's kind of slippery.
He's a sophomore, 5'11", 170 pounds. Like you said, he kind of, what was really nice to watch there, he actually waited for his blocks instead of running past them.
Very patient.
Out for the Mustangs is number 4, Johnny Major. He'll be quarterbacking tonight. The main running back for the Mustangs will be number 45, Nick Caruso. He's a senior, 6 foot 195. And Major's going to throw, swings it out and completes it to number 16, Horig, who picks up about 10 yards. Maybe I think they're going to mark him about a yard short of that first down.
The tackle on the play was by Lloyd McFarquhar for the Arcs.
Mitchell Horig, 6'4", 175-pound junior, and a couple nice-sized targets for Johnny Major. Major, this is his second year. He started part of the games last year, and he's only a sophomore, 6 foot 170.
Yep.
And we've got
a timeout on the field.
It's
Not
an
sure
official
what it is.
timeout, I believe.
Well, Bill, this is a young Mustang offense. As you said, Johnny Major's a sophomore. The Mustangs also have 2 sophomores on the offensive line. Center Wesley Jones is going to be facing an all-state candidate in Tyrone Chambers.
Oh, he's going to have his hands full with Chambers.
Yes, he will tonight. So look for that battle up front. Mustangs also have sophomore J.D. Duplain playing for them.
The Mustangs did make a first down on that, so they moved the chains. Handoff goes inside to number 45, Nick Caruso. Crusoe gets to the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a pickup of 1. It'll be second down for the Mustangs, 2nd and 9.
He was brought down by Nick Loya, who's the younger brother of the quarterback for the Arcs. And he's a very active player.
2nd down for the Mustangs. Majors keeps it through the middle, picks up enough for a first down and then some as he crosses midfield into the brush, down to the brush 43-yard line. They're going to mark it on the 44, but nice pickup there of about 15 yards.
Yeah, beautiful draw play there. Nice call by Coach Laird. Johnny rushed for 105 yards in week 1 against Avon, so he's definitely a danger to carry the ball.
Mustangs are moving the chains. This is the man in motion. Again, that's Gillette, I believe. Some nifty footwork and picks up 12 yards for a first down.
Joe Gillette, Mustang, first down.
Joe got a great block from Taylor Griffin, number 5, the running back.
They sent him in motion from the right side slot, and they're showing a lot of action, a lot of motion in the backfield today, trying to confuse that brush defense. First down for the Mustangs. This is Caruso, crossed the 30 down to about the 27-yard line, a pickup of about 4.
I think that might have been Taylor Griffin with the carry on that play. It was number 5. Yeah, that was Taylor. He's the one that had the block right before. I'm not sure where Caruso is right now.
Caruso just came off the field. Major swings it out. This is intended for Gillette and incomplete. I think from this angle it appeared like Major was going to throw that away because he saw the defender coming
right.
up.
Well, I think it looked like he almost had the option to run or pass.
Caruso just checking back in. Horrig checks out for the Mustangs. They're going to move the ball to the far hash mark. It's 3rd down and 9. Mustangs need to get to the, I don't know if those chains are right. The 3rd and 11.
The 21.
Yeah, they need to get down to the 21-yard line. Majors is going to pass. There's pressure. He lets this one go. He's got a man, and the pass is caught. He's going to be about 2 yards short.
Looks like number 8, Peter Mocho with the catch there. Nice job by Johnny getting out, avoiding the blitz.
They called it incomplete.
Did they call it incomplete?
So it's 4th and 11 from the 32-yard line. Checking back in is number 16, Mitchell Horrig.
Mustangs are going to go for it, looks like. This is kind of a no man's land. It doesn't really do you a whole lot of good to punt.
The kicker can put them from about 35 yards out, but they needed about 48 yards. Long pass is nicely broken up down around the 2-yard line. I believe that was intended for Mocho, Peter Mocho, number 8.
Yeah, Quentin Woodall was the one on the coverage there for the Arcs, and as you said, Bill, he did a nice job of knocking that ball away.
So the Mustangs turn the ball over on downs. We are at just under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. There's no score here at Pat Catan Stadium against the Strongsville Mustangs and the Brush Arcs.
Not a bad first drive. They moved the ball. They had some nice plays. They mixed it up a little bit. Let's see if the defense can get a hold together, put together a hold here.
Tommy Loya in at quarterback, number 7 for the Arcs. He's got one man in the backfield. And Loya is looking to throw. There's a flag on the field. Loya runs out of bounds after picking up about 7 yards, but I'm thinking this one's going to come back.
I think you're right.
Holding is the initial call.
Last week, Bill, the Arcs turned the ball over 5 times, and I think that's what the Mustangs are looking to hopefully do here again tonight.
So that holding call is going to move the ball back to about the 16-yard line.
Wow, that's a big play. That's a big.
Holding on brush with penalty assessed, ball spotted at the brush.
Penalty was assessed at the spot of the foul. That's like a 16-yard penalty there.
So the ball's on the 16-yard line. They need to get to the 42 for a first down. Do the math. Run up the middle. That was number 2, Christian Wright, the senior.
Wright with the inside carry.
Picked up just a couple yards there, and it'll be second down at about 20.
Nice job up front by the
Sable
Mustang
with the tackle.
defense there.
About 25 yards for a first down.
2nd and 25 for Brush.
Tommy Loya drops back to pass. Throws this one in the flat, intended for number 13, Kells Tony, a junior. Threw that one over his
Short
head.
pass intended for Tony.
The Brush Arcs have some nice targets out there. They got Aaron Murphy, who's a senior at 6'3",
It's 3rd and 25.
and Kells Tony. His name's Markel, but they call him Kells. He's 6'4" and 185, so there's some big targets.
Yeah, they definitely have some tall guys out there, so our DBs are going to have to be able to get up.
Third down, they split 3 wide receivers down to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Loya going to keep it and run. He's going to pick up a few, sidesteps, gets to the 30-yard line and taken out of bounds there. Far short of a first down. It's going to be 4th and 12.
Looked like number 26, Kyle Bakos, was in on the tackle there.
Scramble. Brought down by number 25, Colin Kern.
Or maybe that was Kern. It's hard to tell with the black jerseys. It might have been Colin Kern there with the tackle. I'm not sure.
They look nice, but we can't read them.
They match the end zones, don't they?
Joe Gillette, number 3, the sophomore, standing on his own 30-yard line for the Mustangs. There's a flag and a false start by the Arcs.
Procedure on Brush.
I was worried they were going to call the Mustangs for something there. Now they have all these rules now where the defense can't force the offensive line into movement. Maybe that's just in
Can't
the pros.
do that. Nah. They're going to move the ball back to the 25-yard line. It's still 4th down and 16. 17 yards. Gillette moves up to his own 35-yard line, awaiting the punt. Turk punt, end over end, line drive, hits on the 45. Gillette takes it, tries the right side, sidesteps a couple, and gets jumped on around the 48-yard line where the Mustangs will take over. Nice defensive set there.
You got it. Mustangs did a great job on defense. Coach Laird probably can't be happier than that. Mustangs will start here on about the 48-yard line, and let's see what their offense can do. Like I said, I thought they moved the ball pretty well the first time.
They're going to mark it on the 47. And see what kind of formation they came out with. They were running a lot of motion in that first series, and it seemed to fool the defense for a while. Johnny Major, the quarterback. Major to throw. Hangs in there, lets this one go, and it's caught down on the 35-yard line.
Looked like number
Pick
15.
Up about 20 yards.
Looked like number 15, Keating. Jimmy Keating came back for that ball. You know, that ball was thrown a little bit behind him, and he did a nice job of coming back to it.
First down for the Mustangs in Arc territory. Majors on a keeper on the option, gets across the 30 and falls over to the 29-yard line to pick up a 6 yards.
Number 15, Tyrus Williams with the tackle, and he was being blocked by Keating. Johnny was able to get a nice gain there. Nice. Hey, I'll take 6 yards every day.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
And the Mustangs on the move. Majors keeps it again as he crosses the line of scrimmage, falls forward. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 on the 27-yard line.
Tyrus Williams with a tackle that time. Wasn't fooled quite as much as he was on the first time.
3rd and a long yard.
And here's the Mustangs up to the line of scrimmage already. Kind of a hurry-up offense. Majors this time hands off to Caruso across the 25 to about the 23.
I don't think that's Caruso.
That's not Caruso again.
I think that's Taylor Griffin again. Yeah, Caruso's just coming on right now. I think that was Taylor Griffin, number 5.
1st and 10, strong zone. Ball spotted at the Brush, 23-yard line.
Mustangs now with 2 in the backfield from the shotgun. Oh,
There's Caruso.
that was kind of a, I wasn't sure that was a handoff or what.
Off the right side.
Caruso picks up about 3 yards.
Brought down by Nick Loya.
And we've
Looks
got a
like-
timeout on the field. Strongsville calls timeout with 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. There is no score here at Catan Stadium.
Bill, you mentioned that it's hard to tell if he handed it off or not. You know, Johnny does a really good job. He's very deceptive with the ball. Does great with his fake handoffs and keeping it. I mean, that's what makes him an effective runner. So, yeah, he's very deceptive.
Excuse me, an opportunity to say hi to all my pals at Landmark Lawn and Garden in Strongsville.
Hey, all right.
I've been putting in some time there for the last 3.5 years and working with a bunch of great guys over there. It's really enjoyable time. So, hey
That's
guys,
awesome.
how
That's
you doing?
awesome.
Oh, and I have to mention Sean Varga, the manager. My review's coming up, and I mean,
There you go.
2nd and 8.
Nothing wrong with that.
2nd down and 8 for the Mustangs on the 22-yard line.
That's going to be motion on the offense.
There was motion on the offense.
Procedure on the
They
Strongsville
saw
offense.
it looked like the defense was coming on a blitz, and
Yep.
they probably moved
Yep.
just that
Caught-
half a second early to try to shut them
Try
down.
to pick it up. Yep.
With penalty
Nick
assist,
Caruso
close
comes off.
rush, 26-yard line.
So it looks like Johnny's going to go with an empty backfield here.
13 for Strongsville.
Mustangs need to get down to the 14-yard line. It's 2nd down right now. Like you said, Jay, they emptied the backfield. Majors to throw. He's got a man over the middle.
Oh,
and
almost.
broken up nicely. That pass was intended for number 8. Sorry, Peter Moko.
Yeah, Quentin
Macho, 6'2", 180 senior.
Woodall and Tyron Miles were in on the coverage there that broke that play up.
Hurry up. Offense. Majors to throw. Lobs this one into the corner, and it's way overthrown, intended for number 15, Jim Keating.
Yeah, he looked like he needed to be a little bit more patient there. He had him open, but I think he just threw it a little bit too soon.
I think Keating got boxed up a little bit inside and didn't get the release on
Yeah.
that. It was
Might
more
have-
of a timing pass.
Yep,
and-
might have messed up the timing a
and
little
the
bit. I
Defense
agree.
guy broke up the timing.
So the Mustangs in to try a field goal here.
And I've seen him doing this. This is Jared Anderson. And Anderson was putting them in from the 35-yard line in practice. And Mustangs call timeout once again. Their second one of the first half. 6 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter. No score here between the Mustangs and the Arcs.
Looked like they were short a few players there. Looked like they were going to run out of time and get penalized for a delay of game. They were missing a few players out on the field.
That doesn't help. Boy, it's a warm one here in Strongsville tonight. We've got that sun bearing in on us up here in the press box.
Yeah, but even with that, we still got the best seats in the house. No
That's
doubt.
true.
This is a great place to watch a game.
Plus, we got in for free.
Yeah, that helps. You've been doing it. You like it so much, you've been doing that for 35 years.
35 years.
Hey, there's a new school where you used to do the games.
Yeah, right. At Taliac Field. I remember up in the press box up there, the wind would blow and the whole press box would creak along. Yeah, this is quite a difference. Anderson to try the the field goal from 32. This one's going to be short. Had a nice end over end, but just didn't get enough of that one.
No.
So the Arcs take over for their second offensive set. See if they learned anything from the first one. What really hurt them when they shot themselves in the foot with that holding call.
Yeah, it was about a 15-yard penalty.
Again, both of these teams are 0-2 on the season, but the teams that they played were top two. The Strongsville Mustangs lost to Avon, who was in the playoffs last year. They always have a good unit out there.
And
And they
Hudson
also
also.
lost to Hudson.
Both of them are ranked in the top 10 in Division II. I believe the Arcs also are played two very tough teams as well.
They
were
did,
both playoff contenders last year.
Hoover and Perry.
Right. So
And they've lost by a total of 8 points in 2 games. So both of the teams that, well, actually all 4 of the teams are, the 4 teams that they've lost to are both 2-0. They're
Right.
all 2-0.
Yep.
Okay, they had a motion call. Arcs shooting themselves in the foot one more time, and they'll move the ball back to the 15-yard line. It remains first down. New scoreboard here, too, at Catan Stadium. This is Godwin Joe.
Godwin Joe,
Godwin
yes.
Joe, yeah. Number 1, they've got him in running the quarterback at the
It went to-
quarterback spot.
That pass went to Markel Tony, number 13 for the Arcs.
Kells.
What's
Kells.
that? No, Markel. Yeah, Kel. Yeah.
Kells. Okay, the handoff goes inside. It's got had a little bit of a hole there, and it closed up quite quickly. That was number 7, Tommy Loya, the quarterback from the first set.
With the inside carry for Brush, gave him a couple.
Couldn't tell who had the tackle
was
there for
that
the
right?
Mustangs.
Zacharias.
I think that was Tommy Zacharias.
You can pretty much say Zacharias
I-
on most of them and
Yep.
be correct.
Last year when his brother Alex was here, that's all I had to say. And I tell you what, Tommy got his his share of tackles last year as well.
It's third down, 3rd and 7. Passes over the middle, complete to number 8. Number 9, okay,
Jordan
Shahad.
Shahid with the catch and run.
And that's going to be enough for a first down.
Rush.
I think that's their first down for the night, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah. And here we go again. Handoff inside. And he's got some
That's
running
trouble.
room. That's Christian Wright. And he's crossed midfield and brought down on the Mustangs 38-yard line.
Right.
Yeah,
Mark it
Bill,
on the 39.
he's their number 1 ball carrier, Bill. In week 1 against Hoover, he rushed for 139 yards on 10 carries, including an 80-yard touchdown run. And I tell you what, Bill, that guy's a danger or a threat every time he touches the ball.
Oh, yeah. And that's
there's
number
a
1,
Mustang.
Godwin Joe. Mustangs, that was more of a cover sack, I think.
Yeah. Aaron Snavel with the sack for the Mustangs, number 68. Mustangs did a good job of getting pressure in, but I agree, Bill. He had nobody to throw that ball to.
Second and 13 on the Mustangs' 43-yard line. Arcs with the hard count trying to draw the Mustangs offside. That's Godwin Joe now calling the signals. He's a junior, 5'10", 150 pounds. And there's a
Fumble.
mix-up. And Mustangs are all over that. That was just a broken play.
Yep.
A loss of about 4 more yards.
Bobby Pro was there first, but Peter Shoemaker finished off the job, number 57. He's a junior this year. Peter with the sack, 6'1", 215-pounder. Like I say, Bill, there are a lot of sophomores and juniors on this team. This is a young team.
Mustangs 3rd and 18. The Arcs 3rd and 18. Mustangs trying to stop them. No score here. We're halfway through, a little more than halfway through the first quarter. Pressure from the outside, and that pass goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
I think that was
Kells Tony. And it had to be pretty high because Kells is 6 foot 6'4".
Fourth down, Rush.
Brush is going to punt. They send out Adam Turk, the
Turk will punt it
punter.
for
He's a
Rush.
junior at 5'8".
so the Mustangs get another nice stop there on defense. You know, their defense has really played pretty well this year.
Yeah. Low snap. Kick is away. Nice spiral. And this one is going to be down on about the 2-yard line. There wasn't anything Gillette could do back
he
there.
really couldn't. That was it was away from him. It was on the ground. It was rolling. That was just a perfect punt. I tell you what, number 7 for the Mustangs, Jake Croakey, almost got his hand on that ball, and just a split second late. So the Mustangs have their hands full here. Got their backs against the wall. They got 98 yards to go.
Well, they're going to have to put together something good. Major will set up in the middle of the end zone. And he's got a little running room and very little as it closed up considerably quite quickly, and he made it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he just barely got out of the end zone there. Number 56, Kyle Booneman was there for the tackle.
Well, you appear to have a little running room, and it closed up real fast.
Yeah, it sure did.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Major keeps this one more time, picks up about a yard to the 3, maybe the 4-yard line.
Yeah, playing pretty conservative here with their backs against the wall. It's like number 5, Taylor Griffin, checks out for the Mustangs, and
they clear the backfield. They've got 3 receivers to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom of your screen. No help for Major, and he's going to need some as he throws, and that pass just got it off, incomplete.
Unfortunately, there was somebody over there near that ball.
It was intended for Joe Gillette.
Well, Johnny did a good job just to get rid of that ball because he had couple guys on his tail. So now the Arcs are going to get the ball back.
I can't get the number of the punter. These uniforms are hard to read from up here. Is it Anderson?
It looks like 99.
Nice
I can't
kick.
tell.
Hits on the 35-yard line, takes a Strongsville bounce, and will be down just shy of midfield. So that's where the Arcs will take over on their own, on the Mustang 49-yard line. We've got 2:27 remaining in the first quarter. We have no score here at Pat Catan Stadium.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the defense responds to the 3 and out. This is about where they were when they forced the Arcs to punt. Jared Anderson did a nice job of getting that punt off, and like you said, Bill, it got a very nice roll for the Mustangs.
They've got Godwin Jost setting up in the backfield one more time. He's got 3 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 down below. And on first down, he hands off to, that's Christian Wright. And Wright picks up about 9 yards to the Mustangs 40.
Mustang defense is going to have to do a better job of wrapping him up because that kid's feet do not stop.
And that's going to be a full day job right there, because he's 5'9", 160 pounds. Like you said, it's all motor.
Bad snap.
Joe pulls that one down, trying to make something of it, and
there's a clip.
There's a flag on the play as he picked up a first down, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, number 2.
So legal block in the back is the call.
Yeah, Christian Wright, the running back. One of the Mustangs was in pursuit of Loya, and Christian got caught with a block in the back there. Well, so far that's been the thing that's really stopped the Arcs tonight is penalties.
Right.
You know,
last
just
week
here
it
in
was
the first
turnovers,
quarter.
you said, and then they're going to put the ball down on the Arcs 45-yard line. They need to get to the Mustangs 39, and if my math is correct, that's 16 yards. It's 2nd down for the Arcs. This is a keeper by Joe and a loss of about 5 yards.
That was just a great play there.
Gonna mark it right on the 40-yard line.
That was a good defensive read there. Couldn't tell who the first Mustang was that was in there, but he came in untouched and
I don't know what the
broke
question
that play
is.
up. They're going to call a face mask, I think, on the Mustangs, a personal foul.
And that'll be an automatic first down, and that'll bail out the Arcs. Face mask penalty is correct. They're going to move the ball to the 45-yard line.
But it's second down.
It's
It's not an
second-
automatic first down?
I thought it was. And they haven't moved the chain, so they're just going with it.
And they've got it at second down still. Shouldn't it be third?
Well, if there was a penalty, then it would have kept the play. This pass is downfield,
Beautiful.
in and out of the hands, and that was intended for number 10, Aaron Murphy, who couldn't pull that one down. Nice defensive work.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Kyle Bakos for the Mustangs. The 6 foot, 5'11", 175-pound senior for the Mustangs. And that was a tough play because the receiver looked like he kind of pushed off him, and he did a nice job of recovering and knocking that ball down.
I concur. It's third down. I don't understand this, the down and the setting, but they call third down and 6 right now. Godwin Joe keeps this one after faking the handoff up the middle, and it's going to bring up fourth down and 6.
Mustangs did a nice job of getting in the backfield there, the defensive line. Tommy Zacharias was in on the tackle there for the Mustangs. It looked like he was joined by Peter Shoemaker in the backfield. Yeah, I think it should be Mustang ball right now.
Well, it's fourth down and 6. The ball on the Mustang 45-yard line. Arcs need to get to the 39. They've got 3 receivers, and this was tipped at the line.
And picked
intercepted.
Off. That's Tommy Zacharias, I believe.
And
beautiful play.
And brought down on the Mustang 41. If he'd have knocked it down, they would have got it on the 45.
You can't tell a kid that when he's got a shot to pick off a ball like that.
No.
Tommy making a big play there. And
you see the pros doing the same thing. They just don't get it.
Well,
anyway, the Mustangs.
I think Tommy thought he had a shot of maybe returning that too.
That's true. That's true. And he did, except he seemed to stumble on the way down. He did have the right sideline. Mustangs first down. Major keeps it again up the middle, picks up about 2 yards.
Okay, you can blow the whistle there.
Scrub there.
Johnny was lifted up off his feet. He was totally in the air, and they were just carrying him.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Nick Caruso comes off.
Major looks to the left. He's going to keep it. He tries the right side and goes out of bounds.
That could very easily be a flag. He was out of bounds and they pulled him down.
And this will be the last play of the first quarter as they mark the ball on the 46-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs. There's a motion man. Majors was not expecting the ball. Eludes one and overthrows the intended receiver.
I tell you what, he did a nice job of getting rid of that ball, picking it up. I think that snap came before he was even looking at the
ready.
center.
He was signaling the guy to go in motion, and the center must have thought he was signaling for the snap. Nonetheless, it's 4th and 5 when we come back, even though we're not going anywhere.
I'm not sure
But
exactly what they did.
That's the end of the first quarter. The score here at Catan Stadium, the Strongsville Mustangs 0, the Brush Arcs 0.
I'm not really sure what they're doing. They haven't moved the ball back.
Well, they're moving the stakes right now, but
It's 4th and 5, right?
It should be 4th and 5.
So they haven't moved the ball back to the other side.
To gain a competitive edge as an athlete, you need to get
The ball should be on the other. Now it looks like now they're moving it.
Well, then it would be a first down because the Mustangs are going that way.
MAQ Center in Strongsville on progress.
Now they're moving the ball.
There we go. Well, Jay, I'm figuring maybe another 15 minutes and that sun will be down below those trees.
Yeah, it looks like the Mustangs are going to be marching right into that sun. It'll be good for the receivers, but maybe not so much for Johnny Major.
Yeah.
Well,
So the Mustangs are going to play field position as they send out number 99, Jared Anderson, to do the punting. Dropping back for the Arcs is Kaleo Mitchell. He's standing at his own 18-yard line. Good snap, nice high punt off to the side.
that's a
Kaleo
fumble.
muffs it, picks it up, and will be taken down. No, he's still on his feet. Now he goes down on about the 12-yard line. And a nice field position move there by,
Coach
by the
Laird.
Mustangs.
Yeah, nice change of the nice field
Somebody's
position
hurt
change.
down
And
there.
who is that
Number-
down? I
That's
think it's
Horig,
is it 15
Mitchell Horig, I believe.
or 16? Yeah, Mitchell. So the trainers are going to attend to him tonight.
Ball spotted at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10, Strongsville.
While the trainer attends to Mitchell, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the people that brought you this game tonight. This program is brought to you by SCS TV here in Strongsville. Our executive director is Scott Benson. Our director is Susie Kerr. And tonight, helping us out, we have some students doing camera work and working in the truck. We want to thank Eric Hansen, Gavin Kaiser, Max Proke, Patrick Gallagher, and Michael Gallagher for being here tonight. These are Strongsville students that are giving up their Friday evening to come here and bring this game to you. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Yes, thank you for giving up your Friday nights here. And I tell you, we really enjoy it, and we wouldn't be able to do this game without you. Except for you, maybe, Susie, because, you know, Scott
No.
would step in. But no, that's not true.
Of 25 of the area
Just giving her the business.
We can't do anything without Susie.
supporting the
She's down there in the booth. She's probably cutting off my microphone right now.
Race of Strongsville, presented by the Rotary Club of Strongsville, will be held on Thursday,
Still not sure if that's a 15 or a 16.
I think that's Jim Keating, number 15.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill.
October 6th, support of the food bank.
Got to get into the eye doctor again.
Yeah. Just wait. It doesn't get any better.
What's that?
Brush's ball, 1st and 10, their third series. No score here as we begin the second quarter. They have the ball on their own. They marked it on the 13-yard line. Handoff goes inside. That's number 2, Christian Wright. Christian Wright crosses the 15, and it's knocked down around the 16-yard line. They'll mark it on the 17.
Lots of black jerseys there on the tackle, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to gang tackle there. Sound like Sable had the tackle for the Mustangs.
Okay, the Arcs have 3 receivers down here at the bottom of your screen, but only 2 defenders for the Mustangs. But Joe runs the other way.
And he's going to go nowhere.
And he's going to go nowhere as right as he's knocked out of bounds on the 10-yard line.
Right carries forced out of bounds by Bobby Crow.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and 14.
Great play on defense there by the Mustangs. Bobby Crow with the tackle.
Godwin Joe remains in at quarterback. He wears number 1. Pulls down the high snap. Christian Wright up the middle for a couple yards, maybe 3. And it's going to bring up a punting down for the Brush Arcs.
And again, a nice job by the Mustang defense. Like I said, Bill, they're going to have to wrap that kid up better. And they're listening. They're doing just that, and they're gang tackling. JD DePlane is in on the tackle there for the Mustangs.
Adam Turk awaits the snap as he stands in the middle of the end zone.
I've been very impressed with this Strongsville defense so far tonight, Bill.
Absolutely. And there's going to be a flag, and it's a false start by the offense. That'll move them back.
Talk about having your back up against the wall.
And he'll just take a couple steps back, and I don't know, a couple of the snaps have been high. This could be 2 points for the Mustangs. It did move Joe Gillette up to his own, or to the Arcs 46-yard line as he awaits the punt.
Big Tyrone Chambers is the long snapper for the Arcs.
Turk's got his heels on the back of the end zone. And
now we're not sure what's going on.
Refs aren't quite sure where to spot the ball. They finally have it down now on about the 7-yard line. Here we go. Gillette waits on his own 45, hoping for a chance to put this one back into the end zone.
There's a bobble.
Low snap. There's a bobble, and he does kick it.
Nice
and it's
play
covered by somebody of the Mustangs on the 7 or 8-yard line. I don't know how one got that kickoff.
I don't either. It looked like he was kicking it from his side, but it looked like number 41 for the Mustangs.
They're going to spot the ball on the 6-yard line.
Adam
Mustangs
Salty.
ball, first and goal.
Adam Salty fielded that ball on the 6-yard line. I don't know if that would have been a fumble had he, that's a tough one.
Yes.
The ball never really got off in the air. Could that have been a fumble had he not recovered that?
I think it would have been just a punt. But if it would have
Salty
gone off
touched
of
it.
him,
Yeah, if it had it gone off of him, he did a nice job of fielding that.
A muff. There's the blitz up the middle.
Johnny Majors is in the end zone. Nice.
And that's a Mustangs touchdown. Little scuffle going on down there. Mustang and the Arc. So, Johnny Major takes it in from 6 yards out for the first score for the Mustangs. With 10 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first half. And this is Anderson to tack on the extra point out of Joe Gillette's hold. Ball is down, the kick is up, the kick is good. And with 10:17 remaining in the first half, it's now the Strongsville Mustangs 7 and the Brush Arcs 0. Well, you have to take your hat off so far to the Strongsville defense. They're the ones that are putting it together. They're playing field position, and it definitely paid off on that muffed snap.
Well, for sure, and you could go back to the punt by Anderson that really pinned the Arcs back on almost their own 5-yard line. And again, like you said, Bill, the defense has just done a great job of Christian Wright has broken a few, but as of late, the last two series, the Mustang defense has done a nice job of keeping him contained.
Take your chance at their 50-50 and a silent auction. This is always a solid event, so reserve your table.
Mitchell and Woodall deep for the Arcs to take in this kickoff. Again, Mustangs up now 7-0. One of these teams are going to get off the schneid, whatever that means. I remember my grandfather talking about it. But one of them will walk out of here with their first victory of the season. Right now, it's the Strongsville Mustangs in the lead, but we've got a lot of football left. This ball is a high end-over-end kick taken by Woodall across the 20 and taken down on the 25-yard line. And that's where the Arcs will take over, or more importantly here, that's where the Mustang defense hopes to take over.
The Mustang coverage team.
Nice job on the coverage by the Mustang kickoff team. Mitchell Korig with the tackle.
They mark it on the 26-yard line. First and 10 Arcs.
Return spotted at the rush, 26-yard line, first and 10 Arcs.
Ooh, it's a whole different perspective now that we're down here in the seats.
Get the sun out of our eyes.
Goodwin Joe carries it, sidesteps, and picks up about 4 yards as he gets to the Arc 30-yard line.
Joe with the quarterback Keith, brought down by Zacharias.
Looked like number 7, Jake Croakey and Tommy Zacharias teaming up on the tackle there for the Mustangs. Tell you what, Tommy Zacharias, kid, is all over the field.
I'm sure there's only one of them down there. I'm kind of surprised that the Arcs haven't put the ball up in the air more than they have. They've got they've got 4 really good receivers. 1.64 and 1.63. There it is right
got
there.
the size.
And that's
Oh, that
complete
could
to
be
number
trouble.
17, and he's on the move as he gets to midfield. And that's Andre Franks, Jr.
Joe pitches it to Andre Franks.
Nice tackle by number
By Williams.
23, Christian Williams, and that was a big tackle. That one possibly could have gone all the way had he not made that tackle.
Franks is a sophomore at 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Speaking of Christian Williams, he returned a fumble last week in the loss to Hudson for 38 yards for a touchdown.
There goes Christian Wright right now across midfield.
Fumble.
The ball is lost,
Right back there.
and the Mustangs have recovered. Well, I talk about passing, and they pick up about 20 yards on a pass play. You talk about fumbling, and the Mustangs pick it up.
Looked like number 48, Bobby Pro, with the recovery there for the Mustangs. Bobby's made some big plays. He had a nice tackle down near the goal line that kind of led to the stop that led to the Mustangs score. Bobby's had a couple nice plays this year, including a
Mustang drive.
goal line stand against Avon on Avon's first drive a few weeks back.
Mustangs have 3 wide receivers split to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Johnny Major calling the signals, and he's looking to pass. He's got a man right there who just got buried. That was Peter Mocho, I believe. Or was it? Nope. That was Mitchell Horig.
Horig is down.
Mitchell Horry.
Definitely got the wind knocked out of him on that one as the trainers
Brought
come
down
out
by
to check it.
Mitchell.
Khalil Mitchell had a nice hit there. And I tell you what, yeah, he just turned around and got a helmet to the face.
Yeah, he got it all there. The Mustangs all take a knee on the sidelines. On the good note, the Mustangs picked up about 8 yards on that pass play with 8 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Mustangs 7 and the Arcs 0.
And on an even better note, he hopped right up, and Mitchell is jogging off the field. Well, he didn't jog off the field, but he's got to.
Now he's got to come off.
He realizes, hey, you got to take a play off after you sit out, son.
Pass, catch and run. Good for 8
which
yards.
is a good thing.
Strong zone.
Just got his bell ringing a little bit. He'll be all right.
Ball's resting on the Arcs 44-yard line. Mustangs need to get to the 42 for a first down. It is second down right now, 2 in the backfield. And Major's hands off this time. Nice big hole. And that's
Taylor Griffin. Wow.
Griffin. His helmet comes off, but he hangs on to the ball, and there's a flag.
They're going to call a penalty, a personal foul for ripping off his helmet. Taylor Griffin just did not stop. Looked like he was going to be tackled around the 20, and he just kept going. And there's got to be a personal foul. They tore his helmet off.
Personal foul, face mask against the Arcs. That's going to be half the distance. That should move the ball to about the 6-yard line. And they'll set it just outside the 5-yard line. And the Mustangs have a prime opportunity right here to increase their lead.
Now the question is, the refs are talking with Coach Fink over on the sideline. Yeah, his helmet came flying off.
Oh yeah, that thing went 10 yards off. Here we go, back to play. It's first down and goal for the Mustangs. They're knocking on the door one more time with about 8.5 remaining. And the handoff goes. That's Nick Caruso. And Caruso went through without nearly getting touched. Mustangs back on the scoreboard. It's 13-0 Mustangs with the ensuing extra point. Well, that was a nice little drive.
Yes, it was.
Nice pass play, nice run. Mixing it up a little bit. Jared Anderson to attempt the extra point for the Mustangs out of the Gillette hole. Ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 8 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the first half, the score, the Strongsville Mustangs 14 and the Brush Arcs nothing.
Yeah, Bill, as you said, that was a very nice drive. They had the nice pass play to Forig over the middle, right, and then right before he got hurt, I mean, he got leveled on that play.
Yeah.
But then you had the great run by Taylor Griffin, about a 35-yard run. Add the penalty to that, and that set up Caruso's 5-yard touchdown run. So Mustangs starting to open it up a little bit. Like to see their offense get on track. They've really had a rough time this year getting things going, and now they're starting to hit pay dirt. It's nice to see those black uniforms getting in that black end zone.
Yeah. Wish we could just see the numbers better.
Can't
See, we
have
don't have
everything.
any trouble reading the arcs.
Right, yeah.
Anderson will boot it for Strongsville.
And that all started on the fumble recovery by Pro.
Right.
So again, you know, that defense is putting up some big stops tonight.
Well, that was about a 55-yard drive total, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep. They got the ball at about the 45.
Anderson back on the field after that successful extra point to kick off. Woodall and Mitchell deep. This one's way short. Taken by number 9.
It's a fumble.
The ball is loose.
Mustangs have it.
And the Mustangs have recovered the ball. It was a muff by Jordan Shahid.
Looked like number 45 for the Mustangs,
Mustangs
Nick
will take
Caruso. He just scored the touchdown. Caruso had the recovery.
Which is kind of a surprise to me because Shahid, who fumbled the ball, is a wide receiver. He's got good hands. Just, I think this element of surprise that he was even going to get the ball because it was a short kick. Mustangs recovered the fumble on the Arcs 35. Well, they'll take over right there, first and 10. In at quarterback is Callahan Hinckley for the Mustangs. Hinckley's a senior, 6'1", 160.
Yeah, Hinckley had a touchdown in the first game against Avon. He had a 10-yard run for a touchdown. He led the only drive that the Mustangs hit pay dirt on in that first game.
Callahan Hinckley in at quarterback for the Mustangs.
And handoff goes inside. The Mustangs get down to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That was Nick Caruso going up the middle again.
Caruso, I couldn't see.
Easton with the stop.
Ball's on the 30, nose of the ball, resting on the 30-yard line. 3rd down.
Caruso with the inside rush. It's 3rd and a long 5.
They're going to need to pick up 3 or 4 3 yards for a first down and or for a field goal attempt. Hinckley on the keeper gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, it looked like he had a hole there for a second, and then number
Taylor
5.
Griffin was ran the option, didn't get the ball, but had some running room on the left side.
Yeah, James Colleen closed that hole really quick, Bill. It looked like he had some running room, and then it didn't. The Mustangs will take
their
should be their final timeout.
Third and final timeout, and it is their final timeout of the first half with 6 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, so what do you do here? Do you try to kick the field goal?
Well,
I mean,
it would be
Anderson.
close. Like I said, I saw Anderson before the game practicing, and he was putting him through, making him from the setting the ball on the 35-yard line. This would be probably set around the 36.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it.
They're going for it because I don't see Anderson out there at all.
Yeah, their first drive, they kind of did the same thing. They didn't really, you don't really want to punt, and it's just a little bit out of Anderson's reach.
Crusoe in behind Hinckley.
Check out number
Crusoe's
8.
Going to throw.
There it
Pump
is.
and go. He's got a man.
Oh, he caught it. He caught that ball. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't think it's a touchdown. I think he's down at the 1.
They're going to call him down at the 1-yard line.
Wow, Peter Mocho. Wow. What a great play. Talk about an acrobatic catch.
Concentration unbelievable, but there's a flag back on the 39-yard line.
Oh.
And this one is coming back.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. I was just about ready to say watch Mocho on the end because he's got some height on the defender there. Oh, how can you take that catch away?
Well, I think they took it away way before the ball was thrown, but we missed the flag. And I haven't seen a preliminary call, but they're marking the ball way back on the arc 46-yard line.
That's a 15-yard penalty. What was the call?
I did not see a call on that. I don't know what it was. It's going to be 4th down now. They're going to punt because it's now 4th and 16.
That was a 15-yard penalty. If it was a hold, isn't that 10 yards?
Yeah.
Spot
Anderson trying for the sideline, and down there by number 11, Johnny Sprague.
Oh, that's too bad. That's a big change right there, from going to having
sure what
having
happened.
the ball on the 1-yard line to now they're on defense on the
25-yard line.
Yep.
All right, so we got 6.5 remaining in the second quarter. The ball's resting on the 25-yard line. And the Arcs are going to come out and see if they can get themselves on the scoreboard before halftime.
Well, they've got plenty of time, and they got all 3 timeouts.
In their last 2 games, they've scored most of their points in the second quarter. Godwin Joe remains in at quarterback. A high snap. He chases it down, gets around one defender, and steps out of bounds for a loss of 2 on the play.
Number 6, Perry McLaughlin on the tackle for the Mustangs. He was able to knock Joe out.
Second and 12, but there again is another bad snap. We've seen a few of those today from the brush side of the field. Joe keeps it himself. He's got a hole up the middle. Couldn't quite stay on his feet as he crosses the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Noah Contreras spun him around to make the tackle for the Mustangs. I think that was Contreras.
3rd and long 7.
3rd down for the Arcs, 3rd and 7. Christian Wright remains in the backfield behind Godwin Joe. They've got 3 receivers split wide to the right side, 1 down at the bottom. And this one's going to be knocked down.
Nice play. You know, that's
knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Outstanding play by the defensive line.
Mustangs again, that's the second ball that's been batted down by that big defensive front. And you know what, that's been something else. You know, you talk about Tommy Zacharias and the linebackers making tackles, but the defensive line has done a great job.
They have.
And they're a three-man front. So the Arcs are back to punt. Mustangs again with a nice stop.
Joe Gillette deep for the Mustangs. Another bad snap, almost blocked.
Bad punt, get away
Bad
from
punt.
it.
It's going to hit and roll to about midfield, and that's right on the stripe.
That did not hit him. The coaches on the Arc side were saying it was a fumble. Number 41, that ball almost hit him. Adam Salty.
Kyle Bakos almost got in there and got a hand on that ball.
Yeah. That ball went straight up and got an arc bounce for sure.
He may not have gotten a hand on it, but he sure changed the direction of that thing. Ball right at midfield stripe, and the Mustangs take over with 5.5 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, that was about a foot away from Salty.
Johnny Major back in at quarterback. Empty backfield, 5 receivers.
Gotta be a screen.
They're letting them
Look
out.
out.
A bubble screen coming in and intended for Johnny Major.
That was a nice read by James Kalen.
Sorry, it was to Peter Mocho.
Yeah, it was to Mocho. Kalen read that all the way. You could tell that was a screen because you saw 4 Arcs coming in on the quarterback and the
Yeah.
Mustang offensive line setting up right behind him.
It's a
Oh,
fumble.
there's a fumble.
Majors lands on it. It's going to be another loss of a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 14.
Big Tyrone Chambers was there in the backfield there, causing a little bit of havoc in the Mustang backfield. We haven't heard a whole lot from him tonight. He's the guy that's committed to play at the University of Cincinnati, big 340-pounder.
Yeah, he's a load to reckon with in there. Major's in trouble, sidesteps a defender, but not for long.
Number
And
15,
Majors gets thrown for about a 10-yard loss.
Tyrus Williams made the tackle, made the sack there for the Arcs. Yeah, Johnny really didn't have much of a chance. He was back so fast in the backfield.
Timeout called for by the Arcs. 4:19 remaining. They want to probably set up some sort of return on this. They should get a little bit of field position.
I don't know. Jared Anderson does a nice job. He's gotten off some really nice punts so far tonight. And, you know, he's done a good job so far of kicking it away from the return man.
And that's what he's going to need to do. If you get a chance, you got to come out here. We still have 3 more home games for the Strongsville Mustangs here at Pat Catan Stadium, Serpentini Field. And there's an awesome new scoreboard addition to the whole makeup of this. They've got a big video board on the scoreboard that shows the plays, and gosh, I feel like I'm, downtown watching the game.
Yeah.
4th down for the Mustangs. 4th and about Rhode Island. 22 would be the number if you're writing it down. Beautiful
Nice punt.
spiral punt. Mitchell grabs it on his own 15, tries the left side. Still trying the left side. He's across the 30 and taken out of bounds on about the 34-yard line. Nice 20-yard return on that.
Beautiful punt by Anderson. Number 5 for the Mustangs, Taylor Griffin, made sure he got him out. And now I wonder if they're going to call him for a flag for tackling him out of bounds.
There is a flag on the field.
That could hurt the Mustangs if they call a personal foul.
Holding
Nope.
against the Arcs, so that'll move them back.
Yeah, I thought when he was making the tackle on the sideline there that he
He's
had
a little
started
late.
the motion of it before they went out of bounds, but sometimes you just never know what the ref's going to call. So beautiful punt by Anderson. Nice return, but it's going to be nullified.
With that holding penalty assessed, ball spotted at the Brush 24-yard line, 1st and 10, Brush offense.
All right, we got lights back in the booth. We can see now. Arcs ball, 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line, 24-yard line.
That was movement.
And that's going to move them back a little bit more.
Didn't even matter. Tommy Zacharias was in the backfield so fast.
Remember, there was a game last year that we did that I don't think we had like 2 plays in a row that didn't have a flag. I mean, they were just.
Right.
It was just a flag after a flag after a flag.
Well, the Mustangs so far have played a pretty disciplined game. I think the Arcs have been really hurting themselves with the penalties tonight.
Christian Wright now lines up in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Pass is complete at the 25-yard line, and the ball taken all the way out by Andre Franks. Andre Franks pulled that one in and picks up about 17 yards.
Looked like Colin Kern had the tackle there for the Mustangs.
Godwin Joe keeps trying to draw him off sides with that count, but he's got 3 receivers and in and
Dropped
out of
the
the
ball.
hands of Franks Jr. right there. He's gonna bring up 2nd down. Plenty of time, 3.5 minutes remaining first half.
Yeah, that was a ball that should have been caught. Franks is going to be upset with himself tonight.
Although he has had a couple nice catches today.
2nd and 10, Brush.
$14-0 Strongsville right now. And that pass was thrown a little low.
Again, a nice play. Joe really didn't have a whole lot of time.
Murphy. Intended for Aaron Murphy, the 6'3" senior. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. I was going to say, why are they marking the ball there? It was incomplete. There we go. 3rd down and 10 on the 39-yard line.
Mustangs doing a nice job of getting in the arc backfield on that play too. Joe didn't really have a whole lot of time.
Brush going with the empty backfield right now. They've got 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top. And timeout called for by Fink, the head coach. 3:35 remaining. All of a sudden things slowed down considerably.
Well, several penalties we've seen, and now a couple of timeouts by Brush, by the Arcs. But this is an important drive for them. They want to get on the scoreboard before half. So Coach Laird is in his 5th season, his 3rd season with Strongsville. He's got to be really happy so far with the way really both sides of the ball have played tonight. The defense has done a great job. Offense has moved the ball. The defense really has set the offense up. But even special teams play has been great. I think, all 3 aspects of the team have done a really nice job tonight.
Well,
and
he
this
turned the
Brush team-
Mustangs around. They had a pretty decent season last year.
Yeah, they sure did.
Because there were a number of seasons there. There was a stretch where they were pretty dismal.
Right. And yeah, I think Coach Laird's got them on the right track now.
Again, 3 receivers down at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top. Empty backfield for Godwin Joe, this 5'10" junior for Brush Arcs. Looking to throw. He's finding a little opening. Shake and bake a first down and then some as he crosses the 40 down the sidelines. He may go all the way, and he does. There's no flags on the field.
No flags. Yep, that is a touchdown.
Boy, that kid can fly.
That's just what you didn't want to see. But now there's something going on out Refs are blowing the whistle. I'm not sure that that's going to be a touchdown.
There's
Somebody
nothing
said
put
he
up
went
on
out
the
of bounds.
scoreboard yet.
The refs are conferring.
They're calling first down, and they're going to mark the ball on the 29-yard line. He must
I
have
think he
stepped
might
out
have
of bounds.
stepped out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds on the 29-yard line, so the
One of the
Mustangs get a
Mustang,
little reprieve there.
yeah, one of the Mustang defenders threw up his arms on the sideline, so he must have seen it.
Again, they're going with the same offensive setup. Empty backfield, 5 receivers for Godwin Joe. That pass is complete to number 17, Andre Franks, for a short gain of about 5 yards.
And Frank stays down. You got to wonder if he's really hurt, or is this a little ploy to save a timeout maybe?
They still have,
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5, rush.
I didn't really see
no
it.
timeouts?
I thought they had one.
I thought they had one left.
This will be there. You know what? This will count as a timeout.
Well,
You know,
they either didn't have any or they don't have any now.
right. This, I think they had one, but I think this is going to count as a timeout here.
Their program will support all music programs here at Strongsville City Schools. Instrumental music.
Well, the Mustangs catching a break there on the sideline there.
Speaking of the Mustangs, tell me about your former Mustang daughters that are off to college now.
Yeah, Caitlin's up in Toledo and Taylor's in Bowling Green, and hopefully doing well. They're rivals up there.
Yeah.
They were rivals at home, and now they're rivals.
We were surprised at the Smith household that that not so much that they were split up, but they ended up at rival schools. With my wife and you and your wife being Bowling Green graduates.
Right. I hope Kathy's not too disappointed with there we are up on the scoreboard or up on the screen there. Yeah, they're doing fine. Everything's good.
We would like to thank Chick-fil-A of Strongsville for
Got to see them last weekend over Labor Day weekend, and it's good to see them and back to school. Hopefully they're doing their studies, right?
And you've got Gracie and Allison at the high school this year.
Yep.
And
Dan's
Daniel
up in the
is
middle school. Talk about a beautiful building.
Yeah.
Sunday they're having an open house for the community to come out and check out the school. And,
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah, it's a
You gonna
beautiful
be there?
school. Yeah, no, I don't know. I might. I don't know. I'm there enough.
Yeah, I think so.
I see it every day. I'll take a break, let the community enjoy it. But I think they will.
It's the Arcs ball back to action here. 2nd down, 3:12 remaining. Arcs knocking at the doors are inside the 25-yard line. There goes Christian Wright over the right side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down for the Arcs.
Beautiful play by the defensive end there. I can't. Oh, Sable. Is that who made the tackle there? I can't see his number.
Christian Wright split out to the right side in the slot,
68.
along with Aaron Murphy. They'll be at the top of your screen. 3 wide receivers split to the bottom, and Joe gets flushed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it away. He finds a man in the open. The referee goes down.
That was number 2.
And that was Christian Wright, I believe, that pulled that one in.
Yeah.
That was hysterical.
Yep.
The
Christian-
ref went down because the ball was thrown right at him.
Yep. Christian Wright was wide open. Well, the ref had him covered pretty well.
So they took away Godwin Joe's running touchdown, so he says, the heck with it, I'll throw for one. He completes that 24-yard pass. Number 99, Bradley Hess, is out to attempt the extra point for the Arcs. The ball is down, the kick is blocked. And no good, so the score remains Strongsville 14 and the Arcs 6.
Strongsville 14, Rush 6.
Well, that was a pretty impressive drive by the Arcs, considering
Yeah, it
the
was.
penalty situation.
Well, they really started about on their own, 20-yard line?
Or inside, yeah.
Well, that was the big play was the Joe run
Right.
When he got out, that's a one thing, you know, you got to keep him contained because that kid's got some wheels. And
he flew.
Yes, he did.
Not a big kid either. He's a junior. He's 5'10", 150. Oh, one report said 150, one report said 160, and looking at him from up here in the booth, I would say closer to 145.
Right.
Yeah, you give him a little daylight, and then, but if you spend a couple extra guys watching him, you're letting the likes of Christian Wright loose.
Right, exactly. And he's
Andre
obviously
Franks,
very dangerous.
Kels Tony. They've got a lot of weapons out there. That's why you have to give the Mustangs defense a lot of credit. They've, held that powerful offensive arcs to only 6 points in this first half.
Right, the defense has done a nice job. That's the first time they've really had, they had the two plays that really killed them there. Other than that, they've done a nice job.
Well, we can't see any numbers now. I know that number 99, Bradley Hess, is kicking off. High end over end kick taken on the 6-yard line. Across the 20, there's a hole. He's still on his feet across midfield now and caught up and knocked out of bounds on the 41-yard line.
Was that Griffin maybe? I'm not sure. Yep.
Taylor Griffin?
Taylor Griffin with the carry there.
Nice run. Yeah, he broke that first line and stumbled a little and then took off. The speedy backs from Arcs caught him on. They're going to mark the ball on the Arcs 43-yard line.
Nice way to answer there for the Mustangs, and let's see if they can put it in the end zone before half here. Get that touchdown back.
Johnny Major back in at quarterback.
Number 32, David Greco hustles in onto the field.
The handoff goes to number 3, Gillette. Boy, just watching that, if they could develop it fast enough, the pursuit of Brush is amazing. If they could do some sort of reverse off of that, they had the whole half of
counter.
The whole right side of that, the field was wide open. It's second down after
talk with Coach Laird at halftime, Bill.
After a loss of 1 on that play. Second down for the Mustangs. The clock is stopped at 2:18. Majors to hopefully throw.
Oh, that's trouble. Get it
left
out of the
that
end
one,
zone. No, he caught
off.
that. That's an interception.
That's an interception. You're right. It was intercepted by number 4, Kyle Mitchell. And I'm sure that's not where Johnny Majors wanted to throw that ball.
No, I don't think so at all.
There's a flag on the play right now. Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. How do you call an intentional grounding on an interception? It's
declined.
Okay.
Okay, but my question was, why is it intentional? Oh, there was no one in the field.
Right.
He couldn't get it. He didn't get the ball out of bounds. He did get it past the line of scrimmage, because the line of scrimmage was.
I don't know. They should have just picked up the flag. I mean.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of a moot. I would be surprised if Brush would take the penalty, give up the ball. But I guess they have to call it because that's the rule. Anyway, with that all sorted out, the ball's resting on the 40-yard line. Just a little over 2 minutes remaining, and Brush has the opportunity now to come down and challenge that 8-point advantage by the Mustangs.
Not to mention, you got a defense that's tired, They just got off the field.
And I'm sure this heat doesn't help much. Joe, there's a flag on the play, and this one's going to be brought back as Joe picked up about 7 yards on that, but holding is the call. They'll move this ball back to about the 30-yard line.
Sable did a nice job of getting in there, but he you know, the defensive ends are going to have to contain him. You know, you want to get the rush, you want to get the pressure on the quarterbacks, but you got to take an outside. You got to guard that edge there.
Right. Absolutely. They're going to mark it on the 29-yard line. It'll still be first down, but it's 1st and 21.
Ball spotted at the brush, 29-yard line.
Mustangs
First.
and the Arcs neither have a timeout, so
Need a big turnover here, Bill.
Joe on a quick pitch over the middle for a pickup, and there's another flag on the play.
I think they're going to call a face mask.
Joe finds Evan Robinson.
The ball was
Evan
complete
Robinson with the pitch.
down to the 35-yard line.
I think they're going to call a face mask here. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, they'll talk about it for a while yet. Personal foul, face
yep.
mask against the Mustang. That's going to bail out the
Face mask on the
Arcs.
Mustang defense.
And that's going to move it all the way up back to midfield, right at midfield.
should be an automatic first down, right? They haven't moved the chains.
They haven't.
Now they have. Now they're doing
okay,
it.
there they go. Well, it's a personal foul.
Credited with a first down.
It should be a first down.
At the 50.
And we're back at it, 144 and counting in the first half. The handoff up the middle goes to Christian Wright, and Wright got nowhere. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 50. I don't think he even made it there.
Right, stopped by the Mustang
Big
front.
JD DePlane was there, coming in off the edge, along with number 48 for the Mustangs, Bobby Pro.
2nd and 10 for the Arcs. They've been running the same offensive spread now for the last 3 series.
Wide
This
open.
one's complete to number 10, Aaron Murphy. Murphy crosses the 40 to about the 36-yard line. It's a first down.
They kept him in
Kept
bounds.
him on, good for 15 yards. And a push, first down.
Why is the clock not running? Oh, they got to set the ball.
McLaughlin
Got to
forced
move
him
the
out of
chains.
bounds.
There they go. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter, first half, and
Way
that was
overthrown.
thrown way over the head of number 10, Aaron Murphy,
Look like number
which is
68.
hard to do because he's 6'3".
Yeah. Well, I think he had some pressure on him. Aaron Sable was in the backfield with him. Aaron's been doing a nice job getting in the backfield. Caused a
5
little
wide
havoc back
receivers,
there.
nobody in the backfield with Godwin Joe. Joe's doing a nice job back there running this offense. High snap again. It was going to be a quick pitch. Pulled it down, and now he's trying the right side, and he's got some running room. And
he
knocked
gets
out of bounds after picking up a first down as he crosses inside the 25-yard line.
More importantly, is stop the clock.
First down.
50 seconds remaining. Ball now on the 24-yard line, which is, I believe, where it was when they scored the last time.
And we were told that we were Tommy Loya was the starting quarterback, but we would see a lot of Godwin Joe. I guess we know why.
Well, yeah. There's a long
That's
pass, way
overthrown.
overthrown. Yeah, Loyo started the first 2 series, and then we haven't seen him other than he's been out on the field, but not at the quarterback position.
Well, I think Joe's just such a threat in the backfield to run the ball.
And he's a junior. We've got timeout, official timeout on the field.
Looked like an equipment thing.
45 seconds remaining. And the clock will start on the snap due to the incompleted pass.
No, it's going right now.
The 1-2 punch in the backfield for the Arc.
It should
One
be going,
is Joe and 2 is Christian Wright. Pass is caught over the middle and
Nice
taken down
tackle.
immediately. Catch was made by number number 21, that was Evan Robinson.
Matt Proyle with the tackle. Great job.
Noah Contreras brings him down. 3rd and 1.
And
Uh-oh.
there he goes right up the middle, and
He's down.
he's down inside the 1 yard
They
line.
can't call time. Oh, but the chains. They don't have timeouts.
They have no timeouts. There's 5 seconds on the clock.
They have no timeouts according to the scoreboard.
This is a technical foul in basketball. You can't call a timeout when you have none.
Did that injury not count as a timeout? Because it looked like they.
You know, they had no timeouts up there even before the injury on the scoreboard. I believe the scoreboard was off because we thought they had
one more, right?
Right. Okay. Al Gizzi just stepped in and got the official word
Got
that
it cleared up for us.
the Brush had called a timeout just prior to the injury, but the injury wiped out the called timeout.
So they got the timeout
So
back.
they got the timeout back, and they used it right here. The thing was, it was just not put up on the scoreboard for the viewing audience. It is presumably the last play of the first half. Arcs on inside the 1 yard line.
Fumbled
it's a
snap.
fumbled ball.
He's down.
And it's done.
That's great.
And that's going to end the first half just like that.
Mustangs very
And that's
fortunate.
what they're calling it. Oh, no, wait. Okay, I thought they were going to put more time on the clock, but that is the Mustangs dodged the bullet right there. And that's the way the first half is going to end. The Strongsville Mustangs 14, the Brush Arcs 6. Don't go away. We've got an outstanding halftime show with the Strongsville and the Brush bands coming out, and we'll be back after that with the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South Euclid Lyndhurst City Schools are proud to present the 2016 Brush Arcs Marching Band. Tonight, we begin our Blues Brothers halftime presentation with Gimme Some Lovin'. next, we hope you enjoy Soul Man. Finally, we close our performance tonight with the Blues Brothers classic, Hold On, I'm Coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Brush Arcs Marching Band. The Brush Arcs Marching Band is under the direction of Haley Flynn. Assistant directors are Daniel Rossi and Chris Vandal. Percussion instructor is Rob Kistler. The art head advisor is Terry Parrish. South Euclid River City Schools, thank you for listening, and have a good night, everybody. And now, for a Strongsville tradition, Here is the trombone suicide. Presenting the 2016 Strongsville High School Marching Mustangs. The band is under the direction of Brian King, assisted by Chris Chitsey, Claire Galmarini, guard instructor Misty Stroop, and percussion instructor is Dylan Boland. The drum major is Melissa Reinhardt, and guard captains Lucia Moffitt and Caroline Ceramic. Tonight we pay tribute to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. We open with Burnin' Love and CC Rider. Next are three popular hits, Hound Dog, Love Me Tender, and Jailhouse Rock. finally we close with Can't Help Falling in Love.
And welcome back to the second half of this evening's football game between the Strongsville Mustangs and the Brush Arcs. I'm Bill Smith along with my good friend Jay Muty. And Jay, we've had a very exciting first half, if nothing else.
Oh, for sure, Bill. Both teams have played really well. The Mustangs on defense, I've just been very impressed with how well they've played. They did give up the drive right before the end of the half, but they came up with a big stop, which could be a big play here at the end of this game. The Mustang Arcs had the ball on the goal line with 5 seconds to go, and there was a bobbled snap, and the Mustangs were able to stop them. So that is a big play that.
Well, I don't know if the Mustangs stopped them or if the Arcs stopped themselves. It was a
right.
bad snap, but which we've seen many bad snaps from the Arcs today. As we watch as Jared Anderson puts this ball into play, goes into the corner to Mitchell.
And he's got some room.
Sorry, that was Quentin Woodall. Woodall came across the 30 and got knocked down around the, see where they're going to mark it, about the 32-yard line. So they've got some nice field position, the Arcs do, to start the second half.
Jake Croakey for the Mustangs with the tackle on that play.
1st and 10 for the Brush Arcs.
So the Arcs are going to start at their own 33-yard line. They're down 8 points, and like you said, that stop at the end of the first half, that could have been a game-tying score right there.
Well, we've had a couple of plays. You know, the Mustangs also had a great circus catch by Peter Mocha down at the 1-yard line that was nullified by a holding penalty. That could have put the Mustangs up 21-0.
A holding penalty that no one actually saw.
Exactly.
Talking to the guy that runs the films up here in the press box, and they reran that at halftime, and they found absolutely nothing.
They could see nothing, right?
As the first play from scrimmage for the Arcs goes for a loss of a yard, it's going to be 2nd down and 1.
J.D. Duplain on the tackle there for the Mustangs.
Joe Goodwin, Godwin Joe still in at quarterback, and they're running that same empty backfield, 3 on the one side, 2 receivers on the other offense. And that was in and out.
Oh, that's going to be a
And
whoa.
Boy, that was close. That was
I think
intended
Tommy
for number
Zacharias.
13, Kells Tony.
Tommy Zacharias got an arm in and hit him in the head, but I think he was trying to pull up in time. The refs are talking about it, and nobody made a call, and I think Tommy got lucky there. I think he could have had a
that
personal
incompleted
foul.
pass gained, the Arcs gained a yard on that.
And now the refs are
Now the refs are saying, wait a minute, move the ball back because you put it on the wrong hash mark. So now
Nice
they'll move
call,
it back
Bill.
to the 32-yard line where it should be, and it's 3rd down and 11 for the Arcs. They pull one of the Christian Wright, they pull him back. And the screen goes out to him,
They
and
dropped
he dropped it. Flat out just dropped it. 3 Mustangs coming over to defend on it.
Intended for Wright, ball's incomplete.
But I've seen him run past, by, and through defenders before.
Rush.
So that drop's going to leave things at the 32-yard line, but make it 4th down. Number 90, Adam Turk, drops back for the Brush Arcs to punt.
Will do it.
And Joe Gillette waits at his own 33. Here come the Mustangs. And a block. Here they come. He's picked it up and down to about the 3-yard line. Is that Zacharias?
I couldn't tell. I saw a 4. I don't know if it was a 4-2 or not. It was one of the linebackers.
Got a hand on it, picked it up and ran it
Bobby
down.
Pro credited with the block punt
Pro.
and return.
Yeah, 48. Bobby Pro with a block punt. So
They're gonna
Bobby's made some huge plays tonight.
4-yard line is where they're going to
Ball
place it
spotted at the brush.
So the
4-yard
Mustangs
line,
take
1st and
over.
goal, Mustangs.
on their own, or on the Mustangs take over on the Brush 4-yard line. Short field, to say the least. Joe Gillette lined up in the slot at the bottom of your screen. And that was Taylor Griffin, I believe.
With the inside rush.
Picked
Like he
up
got-
maybe a yard or 2.
Calan with the tackle. 2nd and goal.
They'll mark it on the 3. It's 2nd down and goal. Quick count.
There he is.
Second
He's
man
close.
through.
Taylor Griffin with the carry.
There's Taylor Griffin again.
Looks like he's at about the 1-yard
They're
line.
down to the 1. It's 3rd down. Mustangs already up to the line of scrimmage. Quick snap. And I don't
think he's
think
in.
he
They
is
signaled
in.
it.
He signaled
They signaled it
touchdown.
in.
Touchdown.
That was just punch him in the mouth.
Griffin.
Taylor Griffin. Griffin
Mustang.
is a sophomore running back, 5'10", 190. And he increases the Mustang lead right now. It stands at 20-6.
This is Jared Anderson with the PAT.
And of course, that was set up by Bobby Pro's block punt and recovery.
Gillette's hold, the ball is down. Anderson's kick is up
Kick is good.
and good.
At
So,
10-16
with
of the
10
third
minutes
quarter,
and 16
Strong's
seconds
21.
remaining in the 3rd
Rush,
quarter, the score,
6.
the Mustangs 21, the Brush Arcs 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The Strongsville Instrumental
Jay, we got an
Music
explanation
Boosters
on
would
some of
like to
those
invite
calls
every one of you
earlier.
to their mattress
The
sale
personal fouls
at the
in
high
high school
school
ball are no
tomorrow,
longer
September 10th.
an automatic
There
first
are
down
many
unless they're
different
dead
mattresses
ball
available.
fouls.
Okay.
If they happen during the play time while the clock is running, it's just 15 yards. If it happens to be a first down, so be it. But it's not an automatic first down anymore.
I actually kind of like that because, you know, there's so many times, you
Bail
know, the
somebody
team's
out.
got somebody backed up. It's 4th and or a 2nd and 30, and they make a mistake, and it's a 30-yard play. You know, well, it's not a 30-yard play, but it's an automatic first down, and you know, really kills some of the plays that they've made before.
Hey, you weren't supposed to say anything. You were just supposed to agree
I was
with
just
me.
supposed to agree with you.
All right. So with that extra point, 10-16 remaining, Mustangs up 21-6 here at Catan Stadium. And Anderson is getting a workout today.
Well, doing both the punting and kickoff duties. Oh, it's a squib.
But that's not Anderson this time. Yes, it is. And he kind of pooches it over the 50-yard line.
Now, he didn't want to be brought down, did he?
No, he didn't. Great field position for the Arcs on that. They're going to get the ball on their own 46-yard line. I don't quite understand that one. I guess
I'm not
going
sure.
for the surprise. I don't know.
Return by Brush.
We're kind of all sitting around here going,
Ball
what?
spotted at their own 46-yard line. First and 10. Brush Arcs.
Yeah, you don't-
Hey,
af-
I
after-
have tickets for the 50-50
All
raffle.
right, go check out your number.
Oh, let's see. That's not the number I have.
You got last week's numbers.
Oh yeah, I won last week. They already gave that away. First play from scrimmage for the Arcs picks up about 3 yards as Kristen Wright carries the ball.
Pro and Zacharias were in on the tackles there for the Mustangs.
Hurry up offense here by Brush.
Joe
There's a
back
pass
to
over
pass.
the
He's
middle.
wide open, and there's going to be a flag. And the ref goes down too.
Ref's down, receivers down. Pass was intended for number 2, Christian Wright.
Yeah, I saw the receiver went down, but that ball was uncatchable.
That's another view. He was never going to catch up to that, even if
Right.
he hadn't fallen down.
All right, so now you've got the
15 yards, and it's going to make it a first down on the Mustang 36-yard line. Joe tucks it in, tries the middle. He's got a little running room on the left
There's a
side
hold.
across the 25.
it's coming back.
And you're right, there's a flag back on the 44-yard line.
Yep, there's a holding. That play will come.
that?
That play will come back.
Tonight's winner, 50-50. Get your tickets out. Booster Club, 50-50 winner. Winner, go immediately to the Booster Club booth near the entrance of the stadium.
Maybe I looked at the number upside down. Nope, that's not it.
2, 6, 3, 1, 2, 9.
My question is, if you would have won, would you have gone down and left me up here to announce by myself?
Yeah, I got to go get some money. I'll be back.
Booster Club booth for your winner.
Okay, this is going way back. I don't know if these.
Wow. That's
Okay,
a-
this was a 15-yard penalty from the point of infraction. It moves the ball back to the Brush Arcs 46-yard line.
I think they're realizing what a bad call the pass interference was. And they're
That was a
giving it
makeup
to 'em.
call?
I don't know.
I'm used to that in basketball. They need to get to the Mustang 26-yard line, and they're not going to do it by dropping passes.
I tell you what, that's like the second or third pass that Wright has dropped when he's been wide open. He's just looking to run before he catches the ball.
That's Christian Wright.
Yep, that was Christian Wright. And once he gets that ball, he's dangerous.
Oh, gosh, yes.
But he's just taking his eyes off the ball a little bit too soon, to the advantage of the Mustangs.
All right, we're back in action. 9:20 remaining third quarter. There's a bullet and a
hit.
nice hit right at midfield. The ball was taken in by Aaron Murphy, the 6'3" senior.
Again, I can't tell who had the tackle there. Is it 25 or 26 for the Mustangs?
And it is third down
I think it was Colin Kern. I can't tell. The jersey's so far away there.
Third down, 23 for the Brush Arcs.
Whoever it was, a nice stick.
That ball was thrown behind Jordan Shahid. He was open, but the ball was behind him.
Tell you what, I think Joe could have run that ball.
He
He'd
could
have picked
have.
up at least 10 or 15 yards. I think last second he saw the receiver open and threw it behind him. So fourth
Okay,
down
this
and
is kind of off
23.
the subject, or kind of a bizarre thing, but Kel's Tony has like sparkly glitter stuff on the bottom of his shoes.
Okay.
Nice punt, hits on the 20, takes a brush bounce down. They're going to down it on about the 2-yard line, and again, the Mustangs are pinned back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that happened earlier in the first half. The Mustangs were able to, well, they punted right away. They were 3 and out, had to punt. Jared Anderson had a real nice punt, 50 yards.
Right.
So,
yeah, next time you see Kel's Tony running off the field, it's like real sparkly, shiny silver stuff on the bottom of his shoes.
all right. 13, number 13. I'll keep my eye on it, Bill.
Mustangs ball, 1st and 10 on their own 2, pinned back. Handoff goes inside. Is that Griffin Taylor?
I couldn't tell if that was him or Caruso.
Crusoe?
I couldn't tell. It might have been Taylor. It's Caruso. Yep, Nick Caruso.
It was
with the
Caruso.
carry. The nice carry, give him a little bit of space.
Ball's up on the 5-yard line. They need to get to the 13. Once again, Caruso tries the middle.
Yeah, the Mustangs taking no chances here down around their own goal line.
Yep, they're up 21-6 right now and really would like to come away with a victory here, the first one of the season.
Both these teams are hungry for a victory. There's no doubt about that.
3rd and 5, ball resting on the 8-yard line. They need to get to the 13. And we're going to throw for it. Nope. Johnny Major tucks it under and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down for the Mustangs.
So a quick 3 and out for the Mustangs.
You're right. They were playing conservative there. I don't think they're in take some air out of the ball type situation yet. It's only 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Right. Now you just don't want to make any silly mistakes down around your own goal line.
Good snap. Nice spiral kick. That drives Mitchell back to midfield. He's got an alley down the left side if he can get there, but he's not going to be able to get there. He tries back over the middle. And they're going to take him down around the 41-yard line of the Mustangs.
He did not want to go down very easy, did he, Bill?
Nope.
Took several Mustangs to bring him down, but they finally did. Looks like
I've
he's
noticed
still
a
down.
lot of those kids in the high school are like that. They just don't feel like going down.
Nope. I think he's down now.
But he's down now. You're right.
Oh, he's getting back up. He's all right. You know, you
They
start
got
getting
6
into
guys diving on him.
yeah, you start getting into later on in the game, you start worrying about calf cramps and dehydration.
Mitchell is a junior, 5'10", 165 pounds. You're right. It's one of those times I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. It's been humid and hot.
My calf was cramping on the way up the stairs. That's just old age.
We need an elevator to get up here, I think. Joe, another high snap again, and he falls on it at midfield. That's about the 5th or 6th bad snap from center. It's a loss of 9 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 19 for the Brush Arcs. 6:25 remaining in the third quarter.
Perry McLaughlin was there first to make sure he stayed down, along with Peter Schumacher.
Better snap. Joe looks downfield on the run.
Incomplete.
The ball is incomplete. It was
Nice play
about
on
a
the
9-yard pass play, and it's ruled incomplete. It was intended for number 10, Aaron Murphy, the 6'3" senior.
nice play on defense by the Mustangs. It looked like Matt Poyle was over there to break that play up. It's really tough to if any of these kids are watching the game and saying that wasn't me.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see these kids up at the top of the screen, the numbers.
What screen? Empty backfield again for Godwin Joe as he's looking to pick up about 19 yards right here. Three
Mustangs
receivers
need a-
bunched to the bottom of the screen, and he rolls right. Pass is complete, wide open, and talking about not going down. He's still not down, and he's inside the 10, down to the Mustangs' 7-yard line. How the heck did he stay up?
I tell you what, they went for the big hit,
That
and
was
they
Christian
didn't wrap
Wright,
him up.
right?
Yep,
And
that was Christian Wright.
like you mentioned earlier, you know, if he gets loose, look out, because that was a
Yep.
perfect example right there.
Yeah, that was a huge play because that would have, had they stopped him there, it would have been 4th down. But the defense went for the big hit instead of wrapping him up.
Godwin Joe keeps it himself around the right side and is taken down inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. Bring up 2nd and goal for the Arcs. More laundry on the field.
I don't see a flag.
Nope. Okay, I didn't see it. 2nd and goal from the 4. Joe takes it
Nice
himself,
play
gets
by the
back to the line of
defense.
scrimmage.
Nice play. Again, I'm trying to. I think that was number 7. Yeah, Jake Croakey with a play there. Nice job coming in off the edge.
This time Joe's got Christian Wright in the backfield with him. Joe's looking to pass. He throws.
Nice play. Good
Nice
D.
defensive play there. Ball was
Couldn't see who
intended
had
for
the
number 10,
coverage.
Aaron Murphy. And
We're
it's going
saying
to bring
that
up
was Colin
4th down.
Kern.
It's decision time right here.
Colin Kern with a great defensive play there for the Mustangs up at the top of your screen.
4th down right now and goal. The Arcs need to get it into the end zone. Mustangs sideline bunched up on the 25-yard line. They want to get a good look at this. Running out of options right now and
There it is.
overthrows the intended
No
receiver.
flags. Huge defensive stop. Huge defensive stop. And I think Joe's hurt. Nope, he's getting up. I think he was
That was
just
Kels
disappointed.
Tony was the intended receiver on that. He's 6'4", and they overthrew him.
Yeah, he's had trouble throwing the ball all night. I mean, he's been a foot or two high.
Look at his shoes.
Well, that was a huge stop by the Mustang defense there. That's 2 now that they've been inside. The Arcs have been inside the 5-yard line and have been unable to score.
Great defense.
Yep.
Well, the one was a bad snap, but the Mustangs held them at that point. So
Well, this time it was 4 plays inside the 5-yard line,
Right.
and they stopped them. Johnny Major looked like he kept it there.
yeah, he kept it, got out to about the 5, back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Mustangs. Just under 4:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mustangs on top, 21-6. Once again, I'm Bill Smith along with Jay Muty. And Jay, we're having a fun night tonight watching
it's
this one.
Been a great game. Beautiful night.
2nd down. Major looks. He's got a man open.
Nice play. And that's a 1st down. Looked like number 82 for the Mustangs. Dan Nagel. Number 82 for the Mustangs.
I didn't even have him on my list.
Cable ties.
Yep.
Yeah,
First down.
Oh,
For the second year in a row, our first down sponsors, Cable ties.
it's a Mustang first down.
Cable tie Warrior band inspired on the planet.
it's a big first down. And now we got another run here.
Nice run across the 20 for a first down, or 30 across for a pickup of about 14 yards. And
Yep.
that was number 5, Taylor Griffin.
He's quietly having a really nice evening.
Very nice.
James Collane on that tackle. First and 10. Mustangs, another Cable ties unlimited first down.
And that time he's going
And
nowhere.
that time he should have kept it.
Number 66 for the Arcs.
Loss of about 2 on that one.
Yep, Keenan Harden Jr. with a tackle there. He was in the backfield before before Taylor even got the ball.
Cable ties unlimited, owned locally by the Hinkley family. Find them on the web at www.cabletiesunlimited.com. Cable ties unlimited.
Hand
Short
off
side
on an end
field.
around right now. And that's 82, I
That was
believe.
Nagel again.
Nagel again.
And Nagel on the speed sweep.
Nagel's a senior wide receiver at 5'10". They've got him listed at 160.
We haven't seen Dan's number all night, and
3
On this-
times in the last 2 minutes.
yep,
3rd down and 6 for the Mustangs. Nice pass and enough for a first down taken in there by Peter Mocho.
Mocho with that reception.
that's what good enough for a first down.
Knocked out of bounds by Lloyd.
Mustangs got a
They
little
moved
room
the-
now.
Moving the chains.
Yep.
Pass catch good for a Mustang. Unlimited first down.
To throw again, no. Major tucks it in, and now he says, yeah, now I'll pitch
Off
it
to
out.
Nagel.
Off to Nagel again.
Nice decision by Johnny Major. He drew the defensive back in and dropped it off to Nagel real quick for a nice pickup.
Pick up a 6, be 2nd down and 4 for the Strongsville Mustangs as they are now in brush territory.
And a long 3.
Majors keeps this one. Got a lot of running room now as he finds a nice hole across the 35 down to the 30-yard line. Nice pickup for the Mustangs.
Another Cable.
So
About
he's got a-
17 yards on that.
He's got a nice little option there to throw it, and Johnny does a nice job of faking the throw. And if he needs to throw it,
Wonder
he gets
how
rid of
easy it'll be to fake that when the snowflakes start.
That one went nowhere.
I was gonna guess that Griffin didn't get just about back to the 30-yard line.
Might have been Caruso because Caruso's checking
Oh, it was.
out.
He's coming out.
Caruso off the left side.
Yep, it was Caruso.
2nd and 10 for Strongsville. And this was Taylor Griffin.
Griffin behind the right side of the offense.
And the Arcs defense doing a nice job of gang tackling there, and Griffin really had nowhere to go.
Mustangs not only chewing up some yardage, but they're chewing up the clock as well. We're down to inside a minute 10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mustangs holding on to a 21-6 lead, hoping to add to that a little more comfort. Major to throw. He airs this one out. He's got a receiver. That's
Mocho. Peter Mocho went up and got that ball, Bill.
Peter Mocho on that went up and got it. 6'2" frame, and he got it up in the air another 2 feet.
Beautiful pass and catch.
That was just what the Mustangs needed right there. 57 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mustangs up now 27-6, and on trots Jared Anderson.
And you know what, Bill? That drive started on the 5-yard line.
That's right, or
You know?
inside the 5, the 4.
Yep,
Yep.
that's impressive.
There's The ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. There's a
Now
flag,
there's a flag
on
on
the
the
play.
play.
With 57 seconds left in the third quarter, Strongsville 28, Brush 6.
And we'll see what the call is on the extra point.
Wonder if they're going to
Once again, either one
call it on the arcs.
athletic feeds called the MEQ center today. Court timeout.
Okay, it's taking all 5 referees to discuss this.
Both teams on the sidelines, and they're going to make him
Who's
kick
buying
it again, or
who's buying the pizza after the game? Come on,
Exactly.
decide that later, guys.
Where do we want to go after the game?
Personal foul against Brush. It's going to be assessed on the kickoff. So instead of the Mustangs kicking off at the 40, they'll kick off, I believe, at their Brush 45-yard line.
I see. Here's where I would take the chance and squib it. You know, I
Right.
don't know that I would have done it after the score before, but
Now,
hey, if it had worked, it was a great call, right?
personal foul against, now they're going to pick the ball up and walk it all the way back.
Wow. They're going to kick from their own 45. Yeah. So now I'd look at an onside kick here. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, if he kicks it, you're going to kick it out of the end zone. They'll get it on the 20. You might as well pooch it in there somewhere.
And with the way your defense has been playing,
57 seconds remaining, third quarter. The Mustangs up 28-6 over the Brush Arcs.
boy, I tell you what, that was impressive.
That was a
The
terrific
just
catch.
the drive.
The
I
whole-
mean,
the
that
whole
was a great
itself,
drive.
Right.
They marched right down. You know, first 2 plays they were playing it safe, and then they got the first down, and they just marched right down. There
And
wasn't
they mixed
really
it
any.
up pretty well, too, passes and runs.
Right, there wasn't any one big play. They were just
There's
all
the
solid.
little pooch thing. Nobody's
Let it
there
drop.
to
That's
get
a
it. It's a
live
live ball. That's picked up by Mitchell. Takes it across the 15 near
About
the
to the
20-yard line. So 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They're going to set it right at the 20, and Brush will take over there, 1st and 10.
The Strongsville Chamber of Commerce Young Professionals are hosting a night at the Indians game on Friday, September
Well, Bill, again, I think Coach Laird has to just be really pleased with his defense. They've played great. The offense just put together a great series. I mean, both sides of the ball played well. I've said that a couple times tonight.
Yes.
This has just been a well-played game by the Mustangs.
We may say it a few more before the night's over. We got a whole nother quarter as Christian Wright takes the ball and loses a yard for the Brush Arcs.
Nice tackle by number 48, Bobby Pro. And we've called Bobby Pro's name several times tonight.
He's played a really good game
Yes,
tonight.
he has. He had a fumble recovery. Did he have the blocked punt? He had the blocked punt that he
Right.
returned. But I'm trying to think if he had a fumble recovery as well. Zacharias had the interception.
Another
Oh, there's a
high snap, there's
pickoff.
Pickoff, and that's going for 6. A pick 6 right there.
Christian Williams with the pick 6.
23, Christian Williams
Number
with the pick
23,
6.
Christian
I think they're
Williams,
going
the
to get him
junior
for
running back.
celebrating. They're going to call a penalty on him for celebrating because he looked like he was celebrating as he was going in, like a taunting. But it's still a touchdown. I think the refs are running away from Coach Laird. Coach Laird wants to
Didn't know where the ball was.
know what's going on here.
And it's going to be, okay, the penalty is going to be on the kickoff because it happened after the touchdown was made, so the clock is stopped. The touchdown was already made, so the penalty for excessive celebration, which I'm assuming that's what the penalty was for, will take place on the kickoff as Jared Anderson comes on one more time. his night's not over. Snap, the kick is up, out of the Gillette hold, and it is good. So with 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it's the Mustangs 35, the Brush Arcs 6.
I
This
think
is the
that
first game in about 3 years, I think, that we've, and I'm overstepping my bounds possibly a little early here, but that we've won. You and I have been announcing losing Mustang games for about 3 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a drought for us. Well, that might have been the dagger there. Let's hope neither of us jinxed them.
Christian Williams, he's a junior at 5'11 and 160, and I kind of keyed in on him because he was right on our side of the field, and he just kind of sat back and waited. And he saw the pass and just jumped the route, and that was all she wrote.
Yep, great play by Christian. Christian also had a touchdown last week. He picked up a fumble and ran 38 yards in the Hudson game. So,
Okay,
that's his second defensive touchdown on the year.
Nice. Okay, now the penalty is they're going to assess right now from the excessive celebration. The Mustangs will now, instead of kicking off from their own 40, will now kick off from their own 25. Kind of just the opposite of the last time they just kicked off. There's 16 seconds remaining third quarter.
Jared Anderson, also a soccer player for the Mustangs.
And Anderson squibs this
Good
one through the
kick.
middle of the field. It's picked up by a short man at the 23. He's about the 45-yard line and is brought down there. I believe that was it Tyron Miles? Yeah, Tyron Miles picked that up and ran it back about 20 yards.
Connor Cormier and Nick Caruso were in on the tackle for the Mustangs. Again, the coverage has been great tonight.
The ball's resting on the Arcs 45-yard line. They're down 35-6 right now. The 1-2 punch of Joe and Wright in the backfield, although explosive, hasn't turned in many points this afternoon or this evening. Joe flushed out of the pocket, scrambles, gets a hole, trying to find some room, breaks to the right side, and there's a flag coming from way down yonder.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they call, but I tell you what, Joe, you just got to contain that guy.
He picked up about 16 yards on the play. He ran about 45. Sort this thing out. What's going on?
That'll end.
They're going to wave off the flag. So there was no flag on the play. They'll just mark the ball, and
that'll be the end of the quarter as well, Bill.
And that will be the end of the quarter. You're right, Jay. That ends the third quarter with the score: the Strongsville Mustangs 35, the Brush Arcs 6. And
So
the Mustangs are about 12 minutes.
They just moved the chains, but they got to switch sides.
They've got about 12 minutes to wait to get their first victory of the season.
Well, hopefully they pull this off, and it's been a well-fought battle. I mean, this game was really a close game. There was no score in the first half, or in the first quarter, and Mustangs took the lead. Actually had 2 touchdowns. Mustangs had 2 touchdowns, and then the Arcs came back and scored, made it 14-6, and then the Mustangs right at half had the stop with 5 seconds to go in the half. That was a huge play, and then the Mustangs came right out and scored again.
Momentum-wise, everything.
Yep.
So they're marking the ball on the Mustang 39-yard line after that 16-yard run by Godwin Joe. Still no time on the clock, which is really interesting.
So they got to get the clock, got to get 12 minutes on the clock here. There it is.
There we
Now
go.
we're ready to
12
go.
minutes on the clock, and we are set. Empty backfield for the Brush Arcs. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 3 to the top. It's a completed pass to the 32-yard line and knocked out of bounds. I believe that is Jordan Shaheed.
Pass catch and run.
Yep.
Good for a brush.
That was right, Bill.
That'll move the chains.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some special young up-and-coming cheerleaders from the Strongville Football League. They include Jessica Bassett, Brooke Bowman, Delaney Cunningham, Ellie Forsythe, Allison Johnstone, Lainey Kenyon.
Another completed pass for about 11 yards, and they'll move the chains one more time. The only problem with this this whole scenario, Jay, is nobody's told Brush that they're out of this game yet.
Well, you know what? They're not going to give up.
Oh, no, they shouldn't. But
They've got, and the thing is, you know, the Mustangs, you can't feel too safe. Even though you've got a 35-6 lead, these guys can score quick. Christian Williams can score. Joe can score. I mean, those guys are athletes.
look at Joe, how quick he is.
Yep.
It is a first down from the 14-yard line, right up the middle.
There's Williams.
That is.
Nice gang tackle by the Mustangs. I see Tommy Zacharias is the first one off the pile.
That was Christian
Bobby
Wright, was
Crow.
it not?
Bobby Pro coming up too.
Yeah. Christian Wright on the run.
Mustangs will take these runs that take about 30 seconds off the clock each time.
It's a 2nd down and 6 for the Arcs. Joe to throw, tucks it away and tries to take it himself.
Goes
Gets
nowhere.
back to about the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Perry McLaughlin.
Obviously in 4-down territory with the score situation the way
Yep.
it is.
Looked like McLaughlin had the tackle there. Perry McLaughlin, number 6. He's had a nice game as well.
Quarterback
There's Joe.
keeper. And he's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. Clock continues to run as it brings up 4th and 2, maybe 4th and 3. You know, if you think back, Brush has had a few penalties and stuff that have slowed things down, but the biggest problem is just holding the ball.
Right, yeah, well, the
They've
snaps.
had bad snaps and drop passes.
Yep. They're just not taking care of the ball.
4th down, 3 yards to go for Brush. They're inside the 10-yard line. There's a pass.
Touchdown.
Caught for a touchdown.
Joe's pass finds Thomas Loya for the touchdown pass.
Thomas Loya, that was the guy who started at quarterback.
Oh,
That's who
Tommy
caught
Loya.
the pass.
Yes,
Tommy Loya
okay.
caught the pass.
Sorry, they're in the back corner of the end zone, and in this light, I can't read their numbers now either.
It's too far away.
Bradley Hess will be out to attempt the extra point unless they're going to go for 2, which they are. They line up for a 2-point conversion. High snap. Joe tried to get around and
Incomplete.
kind of a like a cartwheel throw. Joe's limping as he gets up.
Yeah, 42
Anyway,
Tommy
the pass
Zacharias.
goes incomplete, and the score remains 35-12 Mustangs with 9:46 remaining in the contest.
Tommy Zacharias put a pretty good hit on Joe there at the end of that pass. I don't know if it was frustration that made him get up slower.
Hey, and for the first time in 3 kickoffs, we're going to kick off from the 40-yard line.
Yeah, exactly, Bill.
Taste of Strongsville on October 6th at the TD Garden Center. Raffle tickets cost
Oh, the Taste of Strongsville at Petiti Garden Center. My wife's excited about that.
Find out more at the StrongsvilleRotary.org.
Should be working that.
I'm sorry?
Will she be working
Oh,
that?
she'll be working that night, sure.
October 6th, a Taste of Strongsville at the TD Garden Center.
We'll
All
be
right,
back
Bill.
from Green Bay by then.
Nice. So
Mustang set up for the
Booted for rush.
kickoff.
So the Arcs with a short field march down the field, get their touchdown, and make it a little closer, but hopefully it's a touchdown that won't mean
Now
a
what?
lot. I'm not sure what's going on here. Delay of game on the kickoff.
Too many men, illegal substitution. They've got 12 men on the field. So we won't be kicking off from the 40.
No, sir, you jinxed it.
And they'll move the ball back to the 35-yard line, and we'll try it one more time.
All right, now Coach Jeff Fink is on the field. He's wondering what's going on.
Joe Gillette is the one deep man for the Mustangs, but
Taylor Griffin, I believe, was the other.
was he number 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had a very nice return. He had a
That's right.
return out to the 50 almost earlier. So he's
My
done it
memory's
from the backfield.
going, but I do remember that.
Yep.
Now, who are you again? All right, so they move the ball back to the Brush 35-yard line, and Bradley Heiss will
Here
maybe
comes
kick
an
it off.
onside
No, they're
kick.
trying an onside kick with Adam Turk.
Wow, what a bounce.
Great bounce, and that one's going out of bounds, so that should be a penalty, and
Yep.
there's the laundry. And they'll move this one.
Kickoff booted out of
Well, that was a perfect kick though. They had an opportunity. I was wondering if they were going to throw that penalty because it looked like a Mustang almost batted that out of bounds, which is a smart play.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody touched it because it's
Right.
on the far side of the field. We don't have the vantage point from here.
I think that's what they're conferring about. I wonder if they're going to pick that penalty up or pick that flag up. Doesn't look like it. Nope. They're going to get Mustangs a ball at the 40-yard line.
Okay, they're marking the ball at the 40-yard line, and here we go with 9:46 remaining, fourth quarter. Mustangs with a 35-12 advantage. There's a holding,
flag.
or a flag at least, in the Mustang backfield. Holding is the preliminary call
Major scrambles out of bounds.
as Johnny Major runs out of bounds, but it's all for naught because they're gonna move the ball back 10 yards.
Yep.
Well, we were talking the first quarter went pretty fast, but since then the laundry's been coming out and things have slowed down tremendously.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, is it me or does it look like Brush's defense just got a lot smaller?
Yeah, they're tiny out there now.
I think we got some backups in this game, Bill. Yeah, I'm
that
seeing
was Taylor
numbers.
Griffin on the run.
I'm seeing numbers I haven't seen all night.
And I was going to say in clean uniforms, but with
Yep.
the AstroTurf down there,
They're all clean.
they're all still clean.
If you're coming home with grass stains tonight, Mom's
Yeah,
going to be really
something's
upset.
wrong. Something's terribly wrong. Pickup of about close to 5 on that play. We'll call it 5. Second down and 15 after the penalty. And there's a fumble on the play. And Brush has recovered the ball on the 30-yard line as Johnny Major just got leveled out there.
Fumble recovered by the Brush defense.
Like I said, Bill, this game isn't over. There's still 9:26 on the clock.
Gosh, even the clock's not running.
Remember how it slowed down right in the second quarter?
Second quarter, it just, yeah.
Game was moving along, and it
Like
just
a different time zone or something. Anyway, here comes the Brush Arcs one more time, ball on the 30-yard line. They've got a little life, so I'm guessing we don't have that many second-teamers out for this batch.
I think you're going to be putting the first team back in. Now it looks like Brush's second team. Is that their first team offense? Is that Joe back there?
Robinson's in.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
Joe.
and there's Joe. And he's got a man, but just overthrew number 2, Christian Wright, on that play.
I'll tell you what, on the night, unless it was a little sideline pattern, that's been the story of his night. He's overthrown just about everybody.
Right, high or
Yep.
too long. A couple were too long and a few were high. And then a couple that were right there were dropped.
Yep.
Joe remains in at quarterback. Pressure.
Nice play.
And beautiful play there.
That's Tommy Zacharias right there.
Taken down on around the 36-yard line, a loss of 6 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 16. They need to get to their own 20, or to the Mustang 20 for a first down.
They said Duplain got the tackle for the loss, JD. I thought it was Tommy Zacharias, but
It looked like Zacharias' style, definitely his speed. Quick hitter over the middle. He's got it. That's 21 Robinson. And Robinson's going to take it to the house. No, they're going to mark him down just inside the 2-yard line. Evan Robinson, the senior, 5'8" senior. First and
there's
goal,
a long
there's that high
snap over.
snap. And that's better than a penalty. It was basically a 20-yard loss right there.
Yep. Wow. I don't. We've been
snap
seeing that all night. I just don't get it.
that taunted him all night long. That's got to be at least the 6th one. And at crucial points,
Yep,
too. The other one
exactly.
was down. They were knocking on the door with 5 seconds left in the first
Right.
half.
I think it's been more than 6.
Little pressure.
You got to
Joe's got some
contain.
room. He's going to take it down to about the 9-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, as a defensive end, you just got to keep contained there.
Yep. Clock continues to run. We're under 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Yeah, that snap
the
was
right-
high
that
and
was
then
a
it
fumble.
was mishandled.
Yep. Joe did a nice job of
Pulling it down.
catching the snap, but then he tried to put it into Christian Wright's arms and mishandled it there.
It's going to be 4th down. It is 4th down. Loss of 2 on that. 4th down and goal from the 11.
So the
And
Mustangs
it's do or
again
die
looking
for
for
the
a big
Brush
stop
Arcs
here.
right here. Joe to throw. He's got plenty of
Got
time
all
this
kinds
time.
of times.
Lofts this one into the corner.
They're
Touchdown.
calling it a touchdown. Wow. Great
went up and
catch, but
got
I
that?
thought he was out of bounds, but
That's Christian Wright, I believe.
wow.
Yep, Christian Wright on that catch. We've seen some acrobatic catches this
Yeah,
evening.
we sure have.
And Brush will go for 2 once again. Try to tighten his score up. 2 points will pull them within 2 touchdowns. He's got an opening, and
He's in.
falls over the goal line for the two-point conversion. That was Godwin Joe. So with 6 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the game, the now Mustang lead has been cut to 15 points, 35 to 20. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Mustangs just may need that superior defense to hold on to this one.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, nobody told Brush that they were out of this one. Everybody else here thought so, but
I think a lot of people went home, but
I
think they better sit back down.
And we'll see if we can get this kickoff from the Mustangs are lining up as it's going to be a onside kick. And I tell you, there's a lot of room between the 45-yard line and Gillette back on his own 20. He's in no man's land, Gillette is, because he's got to cover that whole area. There's that little bounce pooch thing. It's covered by the Mustangs.
Number 11 for the Mustangs, John Sprague, did a nice job of picking that ball up.
They didn't get that big hop as they did in that earlier one on the other side of the field.
Yep.
That would have been trouble because the Mustangs had 10 guys up basically on the line of scrimmage or on their side of the field. So the Mustangs now move the ball and try to take some time off the clock. 6.5 remaining in the game.
Let's hope they're not just taking time off the clock. They need to move the ball.
Major going to put this one in the air.
Oh, almost picked off.
Almost picked. In and out of the hands of number 16, Mitchell Horrig. And in and out of the hands of the defender.
Coleon Brown almost had a pick there.
And which would have been really interesting. And it does stop the clock. That play took 3 seconds.
There's
in
a nice
quarterback
run.
Is Hinckley. As Hinckley hands off to Taylor Griffin, who picks up about 9 yards.
Beautiful
mark at
play.
8 yards on the arch 46. And I don't quite get why Mustangs aren't taking a little more time here, but they're going with the hurry-up offense.
That's trouble. That's almost
trouble. They're calling it incomplete. I saw that was very close to a lateral.
It's 4th down and
backward lateral.
Yep, it was close.
And the coach on the other side of the field was yelling for the guy to pick it up and run. He's still jumping up and down.
So it's 4th and 2. You have to punt this ball.
You've got to play field position here. You took a total of 26 seconds off the clock on that whole series.
Well, they threw the ball twice.
Right. With 2 incompletions. Throwing the ball wouldn't be bad if they would have caught it. There's the punt. Beautiful high spiral down to the 8-yard line. Fair catch called for and taken down there by Kalal Mitchell. So that's where Brush will take over 1st and 10 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the game. They're down 15 points. And with the speed that this Brush team has, they could score within about 20 seconds.
Yeah, the Mustang defense needs to step up. They played pretty well all night. This 4th quarter, they've had a little bit of trouble stopping the big play, but they need to put it together now.
Same offensive set they've gone with all night. Empty backfield. Godwin Joe, high snap.
Again.
He pulls it down and gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Joe with the keeper, brought down by Pro. Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
Bobby Pro with the tackle again. I tell you what, the Mustang linebackers have been great tonight. Number 7, Jake Croakey, Tommy Zacharias, Bobby Pro, Perry McLaughlin. They've all done a great job.
Better snap this time. Joe lets this one fly, and there's nobody there because
The
Christian
receiver
Wright fell down.
Yep, he sure did.
Ball's incomplete. It's 3rd and 9.
He seems to get people open when he starts to tuck it in, take a step, and then pull back and throw it.
Well, that's what Johnny Major was doing on the one drive where the Mustangs marched down from, their
Right.
own 5-yard line and marched down the field and scored. The quarterback has that little option to run or throw, and the defensive back has to make a decision.
It is 3rd down and 10. Brush needs to get out to their own 19 for a first down. Low snap this time. There's a pass, and great defense right there. Pass was intended for number 2, Christian Wright.
So now do you go for it here? It's 4th and 10. You're down by 2 scores, or do you
I
Do you
think I
punt it
wait
away?
again. You got 15 minutes left, and you've got
5:15?
5:15 left, and you've got 3 timeouts.
Yeah. I think they're going to go for it.
Well,
They are.
here's the game.
Yep.
I mean, if they don't make 10 yards here or there's a penalty.
Up, motion on them. That was Christian
Wright
Wright.
decided he was going to take off early and beat them all down the field.
Yeah. Nothing like getting a head start.
So now it's 4th and 15.
It's like Joe's on his own end zone line there. Mustangs playing some prevent here. Oh,
That's a safety.
nice.
Yep.
Did he go down?
In the end zone. Yeah, he slipped and went down on a knee, and that's all she wrote.
That's huge.
That's
that is huge.
very big because that makes it from 2 scores to 3 scores.
Right, and the Mustangs get the ball back.
Right. Bunch of mistakes by the Brush Arcs this evening between the snaps and the drop passes and the penalties.
Free kick situation. Rush will be kicking the ball to the Mustang return.
So with 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game, the Mustangs now up 37-20. And will be getting the ball back in quite decent field position. 26 and 32 dropping back for the Mustangs.
Kyle Bakos,
And
and I don't have a 2 on my
David
roster.
Greco.
Is it 32? Yeah,
I
that's
believe it
Greco.
was.
Yep. David Greco. If I'm right, he's got
Bradley
a sister,
Heiss kicking
Christina,
off.
who plays volleyball. A very good volleyball player, if it's the right family, which I think it is.
And they punch it over to the no man's
Nice play
land.
by
That's
Taylor
taken there
Griffin.
by Taylor Griffin. Good hand, man.
Taylor Griffin recovered that boot skip.
He goes down, and Mustangs take over on the Brush 46-yard line.
He's had a huge night. Taylor Griffin,
Yes.
he's done it on special teams. He's done it on offense.
And some new numbers going out there for the Mustangs, including number 14, Callahan Hinckley will be, well, he's not under center, but he'll be receiving the snap. And the Mustangs look to pass. And that one's going to be a timing route that was just not developing out there.
Hinckley's pass intended for Nagel falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Tell you what,
Tenor for Dan Nagel.
we've talked about the offense, and the Mustang offensive line's done a great job tonight. I mean,
Not that much pressure on the.
no.
Yep.
I mean, that was the big concern. I told you we had a sophomore going up against Tyrone Chambers, who's already committed to Cincinnati.
That's Griffin on the carry.
And you know what? I think I just jinxed him. That's Wesley Jones coming off. He's
Pick up a 6 on that one. It'll be second down or third down and 4.
Wesley Jones has played a great game. He's coming off a little dinged up a little bit here. Number 58 for the Mustangs, Jacob Kamelhar steps in at center. I had both those boys in school over at Sarar.
Handoff.
Run it. Oh,
Trying the left side is Taylor Griffin, and
he's still running. He's still running. Oh. They blew him down.
they blew the whistle.
Wow.
There's another one I'd like to see on
Yeah.
replay.
That
Fourth
was
down for the Mustangs, 4th and 7. Clock continues to tick down, 4:15 and counting.
Coach Laird is just
And
looking
now-
at the ref.
We've got an injury timeout as one of the brush arcs is being helped off the field. I don't want to even call a number. It could be about one of about 6 different things I'm reading on there.
Wow, I'm just not. I'm at a loss of for words here.
It's 4th down. Mustangs are just kind of hanging out. The clock is running. 4:06, 4:05 and counting. Mustangs should be
They're gonna-
punting in this situation.
They're gonna take the delay of game, run the
Sure,
clock down.
They don't need the yardage right here.
No.
I'll give it a minute. It might take a while.
Yeah. Might take two
I
or
mean-
three. All right, so now it looks like the punting team is coming on.
Okay, and out trots Jared Anderson, who's had a very busy afternoon. or
And you know what?
evening.
He's had a great game too.
Yes, couple terrific punts,
Yep.
and plus all the extra points.
Right. He had the missed field goal at the beginning. It was a little short, but
Right.
other than that, he's played a
Made up
perfect
for it.
game. Yep.
Senior, 6'1", doing the punting chores as well as the place kicking.
Ooh, and
Little
he just
pressure
got
there.
that off.
You got it at there. Nice bounce taken. And hang on, because that's
It's number 4.
Mitchell. But they bottle him up at around the 21-yard line. 3.5 remaining in the contest.
Leo Mitchell with the return rush.
So the Mustang defense trots back onto the field.
I'll mark it at the 22.
And they're sticking with their starters, which I don't blame them. You know, it is 3 scores, but still.
Yeah, Croakey's coming off. One of the Mustang captains. Nice shot of the moon. We got like half moon tonight. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Beauty. Should zoom in on that moon like they do. I love those shots from the like during the tribe games
Yep.
where they
Yep.
First and 10.
zoom in on the moon. First and 10 from the 22 for the Arcs. Nothing changed much as far as their formation. 5 wide receivers, nobody in the backfield.
That ball was almost picked down. It looked like it got tipped.
Well underthrown.
Yeah, I think that ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure. It didn't come off very well. What? They say it was
Pass-
completed?
No, it wasn't completed.
That was incomplete.
It was intended for Christian Wright. Second down and 10. Joe with no place to go.
And a fumble.
He laterals it. He laterals it for a loss of an additional
Yep.
2 yards to Christian Wright.
Ref timeout here. Not sure if he was down before he lateraled it. I think
These
he
guys
was.
the refs get paid by the hour. Is that why they're
I
stretching
don't
this
know.
game out here?
Or by the number of flags they throw.
Flag. Well, there was no flag. It was just had a timeout. The ball is marked on the 13-yard line, They need to get to the 32-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 19. That was tipped at the line, I believe.
Yep, might have been. Might have gotten a finger on it.
Intended for Christian Wright again. They're trying to get him open, like you mentioned it early. If you know that you can get him the ball in the open on the flat somewhere.
Right. He's very dangerous.
Dangerous, but they haven't been able to do it.
Yep. Get him out in space.
Either the ball's been knocked down or he's flat out dropped him.
Right. Right.
It's 4th down again for the Brush Arcs. 3:06 remaining. Joe lets this one fly and dropped
the ball
one more time.
Wow.
That, I believe, was Jordan Shahid.
Yep. So, yeah, that's been the story for the Arcs all night. High snaps, drop passes.
So the Mustangs will take over on downs right now. They get the ball on the, where are they? The 18-yard line.
I think it's the 13-yard line.
Or 13-yard line,
Yep.
sorry. There's so many lines down there now with the soccer lines. And
Yep.
so Mustangs ball, 1st and 10. High snap. Hinckley keeps it himself, and he's into
He's
the end
in.
zone.
Wow, nice play, 13-yard run.
Callahan Hinckley, senior, 6'1", 160 pounds, and they hardly laid a hand on him, going right up the middle. That's the topping on the cake right there for the
Yep.
Strongsville Mustangs.
You got it.
Speaking of scoring, Jay, how about that for a segue?
Should I wait until after the kick, or do you want me to start now?
Well, you can start. I'll interrupt you for an extra point. This is Jared Anderson, our old friend. Ball is down. Anderson's kick is up. It is good, and the score now reads Mustangs 44, the Arcs 20. And how did we get to that 44-20, Jay?
Well, let's start off. There was no scoring in the first quarter. The defenses kind of snuffed things out. But scoring started with the Mustangs. Johnny Major was able to scamper in from 6 yards out with 10-17 to go in the second quarter. Anderson had the kick. Mustangs 7, Arcs 0. Nick Caruso followed with a 5-yard touchdown run. Anderson had the kick. Their key play was the Taylor Griffin 35-yard run. That was with 8:22 to go in the second quarter. Mustangs 14, Arcs 0. Brush answered with a 21-yard pass from Joe to Wright. The kick was blocked, and at 2:30 to go in the second quarter, the Mustangs had the lead, 14-6. Now I will mention this wasn't a score, but the Arcs did get down to the 1-yard line right before half, and the Mustangs were able to stop them because of a high snap. Then in the third quarter, the Mustangs started the scoring with a 1-yard run by Taylor Griffin. Anderson had the kick. That was set up by Bobby Pro's blocked punt. With 10:16 to go in the third quarter, the Mustangs were up 21-6.
Time's up.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, we'll continue right after this kickoff. Anderson puts this one deep down to about the 8-yard line. And coming out with it is number 4, Mitchell. He's still on his feet. He's got an alley, and he's got some speed as he crosses midfield. He's to the 30-yard line and brought down from behind at the 23-yard line. An outstanding return by Kalal Mitchell. There is some laundry on
That's
the field.
coming back.
I'm so surprised. It's way back on the Brush 37-yard line.
So with the score at 21-6, the Mustangs again got on the board. Mocho caught a 30-yard pass from Johnny Major. Anderson had the kick to make it 28-6 with 57 seconds in the third period. Then the Mustangs scored on a 23-yard pick six by Christian Williams. Anderson had the kick. and it looked like the Mustangs were in control with a 35-6 lead. Brush then scored 2 touchdowns. Pass from Joe to Loya for 4 yards, made the score 35-12. Brush then had their third touchdown on the night. Wright had an 11-yard pass from Joe. Joe had the 2-point conversion to make it 35-20. It started to get a little interesting there. Then the Mustangs got a safety when Joe went down in the end zone, making it 37-20. And Hinckley just ran the ball in for 13 yards. Anderson had the kick, and that's made it 44-20, and that's where we're at. So I did that in record time. It only took me a minute.
We're not done yet because we still have 2:25 remaining.
And if I know these
still may
refs, they're
see
going to
it.
drag this out, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They marked the ball at the Arcs 27-yard line. They've got in at quarterback is number 16, Kenyon Thompson. And he's in trouble back there as he gets basically back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Arcs. Kenyon Thompson is a sophomore quarterback, 5'10", listed at 170.
Starting to see a lot of new
Clean
jerseys
uniform.
coming on the field.
A lot of clean jerseys.
Yep. So the minute 36, this game is going to end, and I don't think the refs are going to do anything to stop it. What do you think?
Well, I know they're not going to change the outcome.
But
as
an
that ball
incomplete
is
pass will stop the
dropped.
clock.
Big time drop right there. It was Christopher Cecil, a wide receiver, 6'3", 150. And the story of the Brushes evening right there is drop passes.
Yeah, I tell you, Bill, they've had at least 10 drop passes. They've had at least 10
Bad
high snaps. Yep. It's going to be a
Between
lot
that
tighter
and,
game.
1 or 2 snaps on punts,
Yep.
which were crucial.
For sure. Well, the one led to the Mustangs' first score.
And
But-
that ball flew out of bounds, intended for number 3, Donovan Johnson.
I tell you, Bill, the score could be a lot closer if not for the Mustangs' stinginess around the goal line. They had 2 big stops where the ball was inside the 5-yard line. Actually, they had a third one down here where it was inside the 10.
The safety. Oh,
So-
well, that was the other way, but
No, the Arcs were driving and we
right.
turned them over on down. So I think they had 3 times where the ball was inside the 10 and they stopped them, Give them
Mustang,
another 21 points and this game's a lot closer.
Mustangs get the ball on downs and running up the middle this time. It appears to be
That's a new quarterback.
is that. I thought that was said 13.
That's what
but
I thought too.
Savage with the keeper.
Savage.
Zach Savage, number 17.
Zach Savage. There he is. Sophomore quarterback. I'm sorry. He's going to keep it, and I told
gonna
you
get
the
in the
scoring
end zone.
wasn't done yet,
Yep.
Jay. You're going to have to reread that whole thing.
I think I'm good.
As Zach Savage runs that one in
From 15
from
yards
the
out.
15-yard line.
Savage would score.
Well, I certainly didn't expect a 50-20 route.
Not after a scoreless first quarter. That's 70 points.
Well, obviously the Mustangs have bought into the Larry Laird plan of attack, as our friend Jared Anderson puts that one through, but there was offsides on the play.
So did they blow it dead before the kick? They must have. Maybe the refs can stop it. Stop the clock a little bit more.
Okay, now somebody's just checking in now. Mustangs only had 10 on the field.
Right. Looks like Brush has their whole team on the field.
They've got about 16 guys out there, and Anderson puts it through. It makes the score 51-20, Strongsville, with 61 seconds remaining. Yeah, it's obvious that the team has bought into whatever the format Larry Laird has brought, being the head coach of the Mustangs. The game plan, whatever like that, whatever. It could be the best one, and if the players don't believe in it, it's not going to work.
Right. Yep.
After coaching 11 years of high school basketball, I know that. And the best years that I had were the ones where the kids believed that what we were doing was going to work.
Right, right. And Bill, this is a young team, you know, and this is.
Yeah, they're all like 16, 17.
There are lots of sophomores on this team, lots of juniors. There's still you still got your seniors, but you see some sophomores in some very key positions.
Talking to the assistant athletic director of Brush prior to the game, and he said that they had one of their best running backs transferred to Maple Heights, which was a big blow to them.
Right, right.
And there's the squib kick.
I don't think that was Anderson.
Picked up on around the 18-yard line. That's number 23, Tyron Miles. Or that's what we'll call him. 39 seconds remaining.
Wasn't there a rule where there was a running clock?
A running block?
A running clock. Once a score got to be.
Right.
I would have thought that would have been put into effect. It's
31
51-20.
points right now. They just hit a
Not
running
that I'm
block,
trying to get home or anything, but.
Oh, geez, it's after 10. First down for the Arcs, 32 seconds. Handoff goes inside. The running back tries the left or the right side of the line, picks up about 6 yards.
You would think that would be the last play, but.
Greenwood off his right side. Gain set.
Yeah, that's
And
the last play.
That is going to be the last play.
So the Mustangs are going to get their first win of the year.
Mustangs go to 1-2 on the season, but they've got a one-game winning streak.
First win on this brand new field as well, Bill.
And they're 1-1 on this field. The Brush Arcs will fall to 0-3, even though they've got some dynamite players out there.
They sure do. They sure do.
You know, they've got some kids that can really play. Christian Wright, you've got Godwin, Joe. You've got some good receivers out there. So this was not a walk over as much as the 51-20 score may indicate.
It wasn't a walk in the park, no doubt. But again, Coach Laird has to be very happy with the way his guys played tonight. Defense was
you have
solid.
to give the Lazy Boy Rocker player of the game. I'd give it to the whole defense today.
Yeah, the defense did an outstanding job.
They played a great game out there.
Yep, against some very skilled players, as you mentioned earlier. So
for Susie Kerr in the booth and Scott Benson, our producers, my partner Jay Muty, and I'm Bill Smith, we appreciate you tuning us in. The final score, the Strongsville Mustangs 51, the Brush Arcs 20.